Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, wherever you're at in the world. Welcome to Last Raps Baseball's live commentary of Major League Baseball. And tonight, we're going to be bringing you the New York Mets and the San Diego Padres from Petco Field in San Diego. And we're been following the Mets around a little bit. They're playing some good ball. They are 62-44 as they enter play tonight after taking care of the Giants over 3 straight. And the San Diego Padres at 57-49 are still clinging on to some of their hope as well. Breaking news, unfortunately some sad news, as Hall of Famer Ryne Sandberg, it has been announced that he has passed away this evening, as he has had on-again, off-again battles with cancer, and that is just right off of our press. So unfortunately, for those of you who are listening in, we'll pass the condolences on to the Sandberg family. It's unfortunate, and to all the friends as well, and certainly the Chicago Cub legend leaving us far too soon. Well, we're going to start it off with the lineups for tonight's game. It is going to be the New York Mets coming to bat first, and it'll be Brandon Nimmo leading it off and playing in left field. Batting second and wearing number 12 is Francisco Lindor. He'll play shortstop. Batting third and right field is number 22, Juan Soto. And the cleanup spot at first base is number 20, Pete Alonso. Batting fifth in center field is number 1, Jeff McNeil. Hitting sixth and doing the designated hitting is number 27, Mark Vientos. Hitting in the seventh spot and playing second base is number 7, Brett Beatty. Batting eighth and doing the catching is number 4, Francisco Alvarez. And batting ninth and playing third base is number 10, Ronnie Mauricio. And they are going to be facing Dylan Cease, who is taking to the hill tonight for the San Diego Padres. Cease on the season is making his 22nd start of the year. He's worked 113 2/3 innings. He's allowed 106 hits, 62 runs, 58 have been earned. He's walked 42 and struck out 144 in that time frame. Well, that's your starting lineup for the visitors from New York. Now your starting lineup for the home team, the San Diego Padres. Leading off in right field wearing number 23 is Fernando Tatis Jr. Batting second at first base is number 4, Luis Arias. And the 3 spot and playing third base is number 13, Manny Machado. Batting in the cleanup spot in center field is number 3, Jackson Merrill. Batting fifth at shortstop wearing number 2 is Xander Bogaerts. Batting sixth and doing the designated hitting is number 30, Gavin Sheets. Batting seventh at second base is number 9, Jake Cronenworth. Batting eighth in left field is number 29, Bryce Johnson. And batting ninth, doing the catching tonight, is number 17, Elias Diaz. And they are going to be facing Frankie Montas, who takes to the hill with a 3-1 record. 25 1/3 innings pitched. He's allowed 27 hits, 13 runs, all of which have been earned. Walking 6 and striking out 23, pitching to a 4.62 earned run average. Well, those are your starting lineups, and we're going to be back in just a couple moments with all of the action after this. It is Mets and Padres on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel when we return in just a few. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the Padres and Giants tonight. We are just a couple minutes away as Dylan Cease and his teammates are ready to take the field. Our friend God is Great says no NPB tonight, not till the weekend, as we will be taking care of some MLB stuff here for the next couple of nights. Actually today, and then we won't be doing anything tomorrow. We'll be on Wednesday, probably not on Thursday, and probably looks like Friday night as well. But we will call an NPB game at that point in time. It is going to be the Padres and the Mets tonight. That is what we're looking forward to here. We'll be back in just a couple of moments as the Dylan Cease is taken to the field. We'll get you caught up on all the action right after this musical timeout. Welcome back, everybody. It'll be Dylan Cease taking to the hill for the Padres. His arsenal is mainly fastball slider. He does throw a knuckle curve, a sinker, and a sweeper, so to speak. But basically, he is a fastball slider pitcher. And so he is going to be slated to face the top of the order. It'll be Brandon Nimmo, Francisco Lindor, and Juan Soto to get things going here in the top of the first inning for the Mets. Our friend God is Great is in the house tonight. I said Giants, possibly so. Giants is what they had just finished playing, had the Mets. And so tonight it is the Padres. It is the first game of a series in San Diego. A decent crowd tonight, but not a full house. It is the Mets and the Padres here ready to go as they have completed the tune-up tosses, have Dylan Cease. Umpires for tonight's game, it's Emil Jimenez is behind the plate. Mike Machlinski is at first. Derek Thomas is working second, and the third base umpire tonight in the rocking chair is Doug Eddings. It is 68 degrees and clear skies here at game time. Not too many games get rained out in San Diego, and the streak will continue here. Here's the first pitch of the ball game. It's a fastball at 98, taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. We are underway. For Brandon Nimmo, he's hitting .261 on the year. He's got 19 homers and 60 runs driven in, batting from the left side against the right-handed throwing Cease, who kicks and delivers a fastball that just misses inside, and the count runs even to 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike to Nimmo. I got a chance to watch some of the highlights from the Tigers and the Diamondbacks earlier on, and Troy Melton, my first look at the Tiger rookie, has a short arm, very, very similar arm action to Dylan Cease. Cease is a short armer. As that pitch is a fastball that misses down and in, and the count now goes to 2-1. Not really sure I'm a big fan of their arm action. I'm curious to see how long Cease will be able to pitch in a starter's role. If he is going to break down at some point. There's a 99-mile-an-hour fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count now is 2-2 to the left fielder of the Mets in Brandon Nimmo. Get you all caught up on the final scores from around the MLB today as well, as there's quite a few ball games for a Monday being played. As the right-hander rocks himself into the windup and delivers, there's a fastball at 99, swung on and missed. And that is going to do it here for Nimmo. 1 up and 1 away as he's in the books with the first strikeout of the ball game. That'll bring up the shortstop in Francisco Lindor. I have to say, I am really impressed with the New York Mets lineup and the production that they have been getting top to bottom from their players. Some of the batting averages may need to increase, but definitely the run production and run producing portion of the lineup. Lots of RBIs, lots of home runs from the top 4 hitters. As that fastball misses outside to Lindor, and the count is 1-0. And not to be put to shame, the Padre lineup is very dangerous as well. There's a fastball that just misses up in the zone. Count goes to 2-0 on Lindor. So 2 balls and no strikes. We'll have to take a peek and see what is going to be coming up for us on Wednesday. That'll be the next time we'll try to get a game in on Wednesday evening, as that fastball swung on and fouled away. The count is now 2-1 to Lindor. We'll try to make our announcement a little bit earlier than the one that we did tonight. Tonight we got a little bit late out of the gate. So here comes the 2-1 pitch. Cease rocks and delivers. There's a breaking ball that's taken for a called strike. Really have to wait for the whole plate umpire Jimenez here to make the call. And he slowly goes up with the right hand to make the count now 2-2. Lindor, another one of the 20 home run men for the Mets, as he has those 20. And as I said, there's one that is just away. That is Brandon Nimmo, 1 home run away or 1 shy of the 20 mark. As that fastball misses up and away, it's now 3-2 to Lindor. Lots of power in the top 4 spots. And they also get some production from the lower part with McNeil and Vientos and Beatty and Alvarez tonight. As there is a fastball that is swung on and missed, and Lindor is gone for the second out of the inning. So put 2 in the books, back-to-back Ks here for Dylan Cease to begin the ball game. And that'll bring up the right fielder in Juan Soto. So for Soto, he comes to bat hitting .252. And the first pitch to him is a 99-mile-an-hour fastball taken for a call and strike. Not liking the call. I have to say, Emil Jimenez, it's the first inning here. There's only been 12 pitches in the ball game, and he hasn't locked in on his zone yet. That pitch looked like it was up and out of the zone, and Juan Soto's body language let everybody know, as there's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. Kind of the rule of thumb, if you're going to call a pitch up in the zone, then you better call them there all day, but you can't give the pitchers both up and bottom. Usually most umpires will call the low strike. They'll stay off of the high strike, at least in today's game. No balls and 2 strikes. Cease gets the sign from his catcher Diaz. He slowly rocks into the windup and delivers another breaking ball that just misses down. 1 ball and 2 strikes. I'm sure if that would have been a strike call, that probably would have caused an eruption. God is great says he'll listen as it's not on TV. That's great. We're glad that you could be here with us. And there's our friend Gracie Lynn right on cue. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed. And Soto is down on strikes. Dylan Cease strikes out the side here in the top of the first inning as the Mets go quietly and in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. It is the Mets nothing and the Padres coming to bat. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action right after this. And now we can get the party started. Gracie Lynn is in the house. We'll be right back in just a few. We are moving ourselves to the bottom half of inning number 1. This is our friend Steve Rademacher. Be sure to check him out after the game. He's wild, he's crazy, and he has all kinds of time on his hands these days. We'll be right back as this is Steve when we return.
This is Steve Rademacher, and I'd like to introduce you to my channel if you haven't seen it before. These are all the things I enjoy: sports, autographs, relics, non-sports Hall of Famers, pseudo-sports, Star Wars. That's my channel name and my name, and I would really appreciate it if you would come check me out and maybe even subscribe if you like it. Thank you for that for now, and back to your ball game.
Welcome back, everybody. It is the San Diego Padres coming to bat here in inning number 1. It'll be Tatis Jr., Arias, and Machado. Our friend Gracie Lynn said she's still in Westphalia. And I believe that is the east coast of Costa Rica. She says on Saturday she drove over and stopped for a Jungle Ariel tram ride and spent time in the tide pools on the beach looking for seashells. That's pretty cool. And that is kind of neat. Well, we are in for some warm temps up here. We've got 80-degree temperatures, which for these parts in the Pacific Northwest can be quite not unseasonably warm, but can be quite warm for a lot of people. As the first pitch from Montaz is on the way, it's a fastball that misses inside to Tatis Jr. Tatis Jr. hitting .268, 17 homers and 44 runs driven in, batting from the right side here against the right-hander Montaz. As the right-hander ready to rock and deliver. Kicks and fires. There was a fastball swung on at 96 and pop foul into the seats over on the first base side. 1 ball and 1 strike. Our friend God is great, letting us know that he'll always check out Steve's channel, but won't check out Steve. That's probably good words to live by. Here's the 1-1 pitch. There was a breaking ball down, and it squirts by the catcher, Francisco Alvarez, all the way to the backstop, but no harm. 2 balls and 1 strike. We had our weekend, as far as I'm concerned right now, the weekend is just all blurs together. This will be the first weekend this weekend I've had off in probably about 4 months. So there's a fastball taken at the knees for called strike. The count's 2-2. So right now I'm 50-50 on calling a game on Saturday night because I may go down to the good old US of A and spend a little bit of time south of the border. I might go to Everett. Not sure, may head down to Seattle. There is a changeup that misses down and in, and the count runs full to Tatis. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Always enjoy Seattle. Might maybe head down to Marysville. Haven't quite decided yet. Mount Vernon's always kind of a neat place to go to on the weekend as well. Mount Vernon, Washington, that is. 3-2 on the way. Fastball swung on it, has popped up into shallow center field. Moving back underneath it and calling everybody off is the second baseman, Brett Beatty, and he makes the catch backpedaling. And that is going to retire Tatis Jr. for the first out of the innings. So 1 gone here, and that'll bring up Luis Arias. Well, for Arias, he's hitting .291 on the year, 5 homers and 39 RBIs. He started to pick up the average a little bit. He is down for the count. He has been a multiple-time batting champion in Major League Baseball. As the first pitch here delivered from Montas is a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Gracie Lynn says Westphalia is on the east coast, the Caribbean side. I've not been to the Caribbean side of Costa Rica. There's a breaking ball that's missing down, and the count goes to 1-1. Well, maybe I can negotiate a guide when I'm in Costa Rica next time. Not sure if and when I'll get down there again. My plans are right now for Asia and lots of it. There's a fastball that misses outside, and the count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Arias batting from the left side here against the right-hander Montas. He's had pretty good success in the career against Montas. He is 6 for 9 against him as the right-hander rocks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on and lifted foul into the seats behind the third base dugout. The count goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Arias, as we said, has been on a 10-game hit streak, and he's on a heater right now for sure. He was languishing in and around the 270 mark, which was uncharted territory for him. But now he is getting the game going. And there's a pitch. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away. Count remains at 2-2. He is a consummate table setter, a good number 2 or a traditional number 2 type hitter in the Padres lineup. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Waiting on the offering here from the right-hander Montas as he rocks himself into the windup. Kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on. This is going to be looped into center field for a base hit. So the beat continues for Luis Arias as he's got himself another single. He's aboard with a 1-out knock, and that's going to bring up the third baseman in Manny Machado. Friend Gracie Lynn says, not too interested in Asia. Philippines might be cool. Other than that, Fiji, Papua New Guinea, some of those other places. I never had really an interest in going to Asia until I moved to the West Coast. And once I got to the West Coast, it has been very, very interesting. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Living on the West Coast, being pretty much just a hop, skip, and a jump away, makes it very, very easy. Just have to get one direct flight in some cases, and you are in Asia. 0-1 on the way. There's a fastball taken for a called strike at the knees, and the count's now 0-2 to Machado. Although I may want to pump the tires on Thailand and that area because I guess Cambodia, there's been skirmishes with the military. I don't know a whole lot about that. I'm not up to speed on it, but I guess they've been shooting rockets and bullets at each other. There's a breaking ball that's down. They appeal over to the first base umpire, but Mike Lachinsky says no, that Machado didn't go, running the count to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Which is a little disappointing, mind you, because I have had Thailand on my list of places to knock off. So before I start making an adventure over there, I would like the bullets to stop flying. So here comes the 1-2 pitch, as it is a changeup swung on it, is popped up behind home plate. Moving back on it is Alvarez, but he's going to watch it drift into the seats. Is going to keep the count at 1 ball and 2 strikes to Machado. Frank Gracie Lynn says, as long as you don't go into the mountains near the border, people are usually fine. Yeah, try to stay away from that. It'd be like going into the mountains or around the border of Nicaragua and Costa Rica. Hard to tell where the line crosses. Thank you very much. I'll stay out of that way. As Montaz throws over to first base, and diving back in time is the base runner Arias. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Machado. He's got that open stance, and he waits here on the offering from Montaz. Montaz already thrown 16 pitches in the inning. Kicks and fires. Breaking ball swung on. Grounded foul just past the bag at third base. And it keeps the count at 1-2 to Machado. Looking at if we do call another game in the next couple of days, obviously tomorrow night it will be off. We're not going to be doing anything tomorrow. We're looking at, or at least eyeballing, the possibility of games on Wednesday evening. As we mentioned earlier, breaking news, Ryan Sandberg, the Cubs icon and Hall of Famer, passed away at the age of 65. He had some battles with cancer as that breaking ball misses down and the count goes to 2-2. That was the note that had come through as we had opened the stream tonight. Very unfortunate. Chicago Cub had quite a long career. Also had coached in the Phillies organization. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, there's a fastball swung on, grounded to short. Lindor fields it over to second for 1. Back to first, and that's going to be an inning-ending double play. It's going to go on the books as a 6-4-3 variety. And that will do it here for the Padres. They had no runs in the inning. They did get a hit off the bat of Luis Arias. There was no errors and nobody left aboard. We're now through 1 complete. It is the Mets nothing and the Padres nothing. Top of the second, around the corner when we return. Appreciate you for being with us here on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball. Welcome back, everybody. Dylan Cease is just completing his tune-up tosses, and we'll be ready to get this one back going again. There was a trade earlier today as the Detroit Tigers have acquired 2 pitchers from the Minnesota Twins. It is going to be Randy Dobnak. But the centerpiece of the trade was Chris Paddock, who was a one-time San Diego Padre, and then he had played with the Minnesota Twins over the course of the last few seasons. And basically, it was a minor league catcher that is going the other way. So that is the trade news. We'll keep our eye on the trade pieces as well, what else has been going on around and about. Carlos Carrasco has been acquired by the Braves. Carrasco in Atlanta, as he was formerly with the New York Yankees. So here we go, back to the live action as the first pitch from Dylan Cease is a breaking ball delivered to Pete Alonso, and the count is quickly 0-1. 15 pitches for Cease in his first inning of work. Alonso batting .266, 22 homers, 81 runs driven in. As the pitch is on the way, it's a fastball swung on. This ball is driven at a deep right center field. Moving back onto just in front of the warning track is the center fielder Merrill. And he's there to make the catch, and that is going to retire Alonso for the first out of the inning. And that'll bring up the center fielder in Jeff McNeil. Friend Gracie Lynn says that she has full-time residency permits for Costa Rica. Not quite as messy with the border as it could be with a tourist. Yeah, I remember getting stopped on a highway in Costa Rica years ago, and they were looking for flora or fauna leaving the southern area. First pitch, fastball misses outside. The count is 1-0 to McNeil. Yeah, surfing, bodyboarding, and swimming, that could take a lot out of you right there. There was a fastball that swung on and missed. Count is 1-1. I remember on the west coast of Costa Rica, there were a lot of riptides. You had to be careful, they often said. And I'm not a great swimmer, so I'm cool with not having to go into the water. As there is a breaking ball that misses down, they appeal to the third base umpire, but this time it is Doug Innings who says that McNeil didn't go, and the count is now 2-1. As the right-hander ready to go again, he kicks and fires. There's a breaking ball waved at and missed. Count now goes to 2-2 on McNeil. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. I guess the bigger question for our friend Gracie Lynn is, how long are you going to be down in Costa Rica for? When are you returning back to the States? Here's the 2-2 pitch. There's a fastball swung on. This is fouled away over on the third base side, and the count remains at 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. But I have to say, she's got it figured out. Half the time in the States, half the time in Costa Rica, where it's kind of warm. There is a split finger pitch swung on and fouled away. Count remains at 2-2. I've got the warm part figured out. I just don't have the other half of the year figured out. Although 3 weeks in Vietnam this year might have that figured out. Maybe we can go even a little longer. Here's Cease ready to deliver again. Breaking ball misses down and in. And the count now is 3-2 to McNeil. It's the second time in 5 hitters Dylan Cease has been worked to a full count. Mark Vientos waiting his turn on deck. As the right-hander kicks and fires, there is a breaking ball down. It's going to be ball 4. That's going to be the first base runner for the Mets tonight, as McNeil has earned himself a walk. That'll bring up the designated hitter and Mark Vientos. Well, for Vientos, batting .226, 6 homers and 27 runs driven in. As he steps to the plate here for the first time to face the right-hander Cease. Cease gets the signs and he delivers a 97-mile-an-hour fastball that misses upstairs for a ball. Count is 1-0. Vientos was the talk of the town last year. Had himself an absolutely fantastic season for the Mets. There's a breaking ball swung on and it's fouled right off into the catcher Diaz. This year, the honeymoon is over, I suppose. He's hitting 40 points less than he did last year. He's got 21 less homers so far. And he has driven in 54 less runs, but the season is still to be played. Or the back third of it is. So he still has time to put up some numbers. Fastball swung on, grounded up the middle into center field for a base hit. Rounding second and digging for third is Beatty. The throw is cut off as it was offline. And that is going to allow the runner, McNeil, to get all the way around to third. And that was Beatty, he looked like Beatty running. I thought McNeil ran better than that, but Vientos has got himself a single. Now the Mets have got something brewing as they got runners on the corners. With one gone, and now it's going to bring Brett Beatty to the plate. I was watching McNeil run, and I'm going, that can't be McNeil. That's got to be Beatty rounding the bases. Nope, it's McNeil. I thought the flying squirrel flew a lot better than what it did. And here's the first pitch to Beatty. It's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. 1 ball and no strikes. Gracie Lynn says she's going to be there until August the 12th. As the pitch is a breaking ball swung on and missed. There was a particular event she couldn't do remotely, had to be there in person to sign papers. I get it, understand, as that breaking ball was swung on by Beatty. 1 ball and 1 strike it is to the Mets second baseman as he has taken the offensive timeout. 1 ball and 1 strike, batting from the left side as the right-hander works himself to the set position. Here comes the pitch. There's a breaking ball swung on, lifted into left field. That might be deep enough to get the run in. Making the catch is Johnson, tagging at third. And coming in to score is McNeil, and that is going to give the Mets a early 1-0 lead. Sacrifice fly off the bat of Beatty. He's gone for the second out of the inning. He collects himself an RBI. And that'll bring up the catcher in Francisco Alvarez. So the Mets are doing what they've been doing lately. That's scoring early, scoring often, and getting ahead of their opposition. This is turning into quite the road trip with the sweep in San Francisco. Looking to turn the trick in San Diego. First pitch, fastball misses upstairs to Alvarez. Counts 1-0. Alvarez batting .250 on the year, 4 homers and 13 runs batted in. On the call the other night, he had a triple in San Francisco as the pitch is a breaking ball, misses down and away, and the count goes to 2-0. 2 balls and no strikes. As now time has been called by Alvarez. He figured that Cease was moving just a little too quickly for his liking. Now he gets himself reset in the batter's box, ready to go at it again. 2-0 pitch coming here as the right-hander again works to the set. Now he kicks and fires. There's a breaking ball that misses outside. It's now 3-0 to Alvarez. So 3 balls and no strikes. Again, the right-hander works himself set. Now delivers. Fastball misses upstairs. That's going to be ball 4. And that walk here is going to put runners to first and second. The second walk of the inning issued by Cease. Advancing the second is Vientos, and now it's going to bring up the third baseman and Ronnie Mauricio. I have to tell you, we were watching the game the other night, and there's talk and there's trade rumors for the Mets. Are they going to take a piece, or an offensive piece out, and move somebody? I mean, right now they've got a bit of a log jam. You've got in the middle of the infield, you got Lindor at short. He's not going anywhere. Beatty's playing second tonight. Mauricio can play second. Acuna can play second. Are they going to take one of those pieces away and make a move? You got McNeil who could play there as well. Vientos, well, he's a third baseman. When his bat is in the lineup. So what do you do? And those are the things that I would have to say is you got to think about making a decision. Is Ronnie Mauricio going to be the guy that you're going with? And we saw him the other night. He's a very strong physical specimen. There's a lot to like. Batting from the left side here, Mauricio. Hitting .252 with 5 homers and 8 RBIs. I could only imagine what the return for this young player could be. There's a breaking ball that's down, but the home plate umpire, Jimenez, goes up with the right hand saying he went around to count his 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Runner at second, Vientos runner at first. Alvarez, they established their leads, and another breaking ball delivered, and this one misses down. Count goes even to 1-1. Certainly been a lot more difficult inning for the right-hander after he struck out the side in the first inning. The second inning here, they've worked him already for over 20 pitches. And the pitch on the way, there's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away, and the count now is 1-2 to Mauricio. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Again, Cease gets himself a new baseball. He rubs it up. As I say, we're looking ahead to Wednesday, as that would be the next time we would be able to give the call of one of the games. There's a fastball misses down and in. That is going to run the count even at 2-2 to Mauricio. But that more than likely would have to be a game that we would probably look to call between the Mariners and Athletics. The Mets and the Padres are a getaway game, West Coast style, and we're not going to be able to get on the call for that one. Fastball swung on and missed, and that is going to retire Mauricio. He's down on strikes for the third out of the inning, but the Mets do damage. They had 1 run in the inning on the benefit of only 1 hit. There were no errors, and there were 2 runners left aboard. Your score as we move to the bottom of the second inning, it is the Mets 1 and the Padres. No score. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be right back in just a few. Our friend Gracie Lynn is holding it down with us here in the chat tonight, giving us her Costa Rica itinerary. We appreciate her for doing that tonight. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. It's going to be the heart of the order coming to bat for the Padres. That means Jackson Merrill, Xander Bogaerts, and Gavin Sheets to face the right-hander Frankie Montas, who delivered 19 pitches in his first inning of work. So Montas is going to be taking over here again in inning number 2. You face the Padres here with a now 1-0 lead. He has been very fortunate this year as Montas, in his 5 starts, has received some run support as he has that 3-1 record. The first pitch is a breaking ball missing up and away for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. Merrill batting .260 with 7 homers and 38 runs driven in, getting the nod in center field. There was some talk before the season started if he was going to get the nod for the chance at the World Baseball Classic next year, and that talk has seemed to settle down a little bit as that breaking ball was lifted foul down the right field line, and the count runs even at 1-1. Before the season started, the new faces or the young blood, certainly Bobby Witt Jr., who was there before in a bit of a limited role, and then, of course, Jackson Merrill, saying why not him for center field. Breaking ball misses down 2-1 to the center fielder of the Padres. Curious to see how that all plays out. Been quite a few stars who've already committed. There is a sinker that is swung on and missed, and the count goes now to 2-2 on Merrill. Some of the players who have committed, Cal Raleigh has announced his intention to play, as has Aaron Judge, of course, and Mike Trout, Bobby Witt Jr. There's a fastball swung on. This is lifted into right field, and it's going to get down for a base hit. Soto picks it up, and he fires it back into the infield, and so that is going to be a single for Jackson Merrill. He's aboard. That'll bring up the shortstop in Xander Bogaerts. Well, for Bogaerts, he's hitting .265, 7 homers and 36 runs driven in, as he comes to bat here to face the right-hander Montas for the first time tonight. If you just joined us, we're in the bottom of the second inning. The Mets have a 1-0 lead. We have to update our ticker on that. We will do that for you. Mets got themselves a sacrifice fly off the bat of Brett Beatty to bring home the first run of the game for the Mets. And the first pitch to Bogaerts misses down. Here's the 1-0. Fastball catches the inside corner, and the count runs even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. We'll keep you up to date on all the scores from around Major League Baseball. The West Coast games are underway. Most of the games on the Eastern time zone have been completed. As they throw over to first base, and diving back is Jackson Merrill. We were saying for a Monday, it is a rare thing to see a full slate of games around Major League Baseball today. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, it's a breaking ball missing down. It's now 2-1. Detroit Tigers are now on a winning streak. They've won 2 in a row as Troy Melton got the win, his first in the big leagues against Eduardo Rodriguez, a former Tiger. 5-1, the Tigers beat the Diamondbacks. Other final scores from around Major League Baseball is there's a fastball swung on, grounded softly to short. Merrill was on the move, so they're going to stay out of the double play. And it is going to be Bogaerts who's going to be out on a ground out 6-3 for the first out of the inning. Good decision to get Merrill moving. So he is now in scoring position with 1 gone. That's going to bring up the DH and Gavin Sheets. Orioles took care of the Blue Jays 11-4 today. They pounded out 16 hits against the Blue Jays. The bats kept rolling after that hit-a-thon that they had against the Rockies on the weekend. Here's the pitch from Montas. It is a breaking ball that misses upstairs, and the count is quickly 1-0. Tampa Bay Rays knocked off the Yankees in the Bronx 4-2. Dodgers beat the Reds 5-2. Yamamoto got his 9th win of the year for the Dodgers. As the right-hander delivers, there's a breaking ball that's down. Good stop there by Alvarez to keep it in front. Count is 2-0. White Sox beat the Phillies today 6-2. Interesting, the White Sox are at 39 wins, so they're not going to be as putrid as they were a couple of years ago. And they might even have an outside shot not to lose 100 games. They'd have to play, they basically got to win 23 more games. So there's a fastball taken at the knees for a called strike. Count is 2-1. Brewers knocked off the Cubs 8-4 today. And the Cardinals beat the Marlins 7-1. That gives you all the completed scores from around Major League Baseball. We'll take a look at the games that are going on a little bit later. There was a breaking ball down in the dirt. And did he go? Yeah, they said that Sheets had went around, so 2 balls and 2 strikes it is. Waiting on deck is Jake Cronenworth, runner at second, 1 gone here in the inning. Merrill jockeying with Montez. Lindor on the almost at the bag at second base. There's a breaking ball missing down, and the count now goes full to Sheets. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Again, Merrill establishing his lead. And the right-hander delivers. There's a breaking ball waved at and missed, and that is going to put Sheets in the books. He's gone for the second out of the inning. That's a big strikeout there for Montas. That'll bring up the second baseman and Jake Cronenworth. Looking at all the other movement around Major League Baseball and trying to catch up on some of the other stuff. Lots of stuff at this time of the year. Trade deadline in a couple of days away. Rumor mills are moving around. Rays are in discussions to acquire Nick Fortes from the Marlins. I wouldn't dispute that, especially if they end up moving Danny Jansen to the Brewers as it's expected. There'll be some musical catchers. There's a breaking ball that misses down. Count is 1-0 to Cronenworth. Cronenworth hitting .241 on the year, 8 homers and 31 RBIs. Bats here with 2 outs. And Merrill at second. Montas works himself to the set. He checks the runner at second. Here's the pitch. Another breaking ball that bounces up to the plate, and the count goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. And it looks like it is a done deal for the Rays and the Brewers with Danny Jansen going to the Brew Crew. So we'll see how the catchers change teams. 2-0 pitch on the way. Fastball misses down. It's now 3-0 to Cronenworth. This might be planned, not give Cronenworth anything to hit. They've got Bryce Johnson, who's hit the ball really well for the Padres, waiting on deck. But maybe the thoughts is if you're going to get beat, don't let Cronenworth beat you. Make sure it's Johnson. There's a fastball that misses down, and it squirts away from the catcher Alvarez. It's going to be ball 4. Cronenworth is going to get the base on balls. It's going to send up the force, and it brings Bryce Johnson to the plate. It's also going to bring the pitching coach out from the Mets dugout. Gracie Lynn says the Marlins are letting her down. Yeah, they had a good run there at the end of June, as you pointed out. Maybe it's time to shake it up a little bit. So this is Bryce Johnson stepping up to the plate as that conference is over. Johnson's batting .361 on the year, no homers and 3 RBIs. Gracie Lynn was pointing out, they're talking about after the 2026, about moving to July. It's not the worst thing because you got the players, especially the pitchers, in mid-season form, and you got your league on full display in the middle of the season. Here comes the first offering to Johnson. It's a fastball swung on and lifted foul over on the third base side. Count is quickly 0-1 to Johnson. So not out of the realm of possibilities to see something like that. Whether you like it or whether you don't, I can't comment on, but I don't think it would be the worst thing. Here's the 0-1 offering. Breaking ball, take it for a called strike, and now Johnson's really in the hole at 0-2. Montaz trying to wiggle himself out of this pickle here. Runners at first and second, 2 gone here in the second inning. Merrill establishes his lead. Cronenworth does the same. And the 0-2 pitch coming here. There's a fastball that bounces up the plate. Another good block there by the catcher Alvarez. He's been a busy man tonight. Earning his money for sure. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Johnson. And again, the right-hander works to the set, checks the runner, now delivers. And another breaking ball that bounces up to the plate. If we were playing cricket, it'd be quite the feat. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Johnson. Gracie Lynn says it's good for baseball. KBO, NPB, a 15-day pause. I don't know if they can get it all done in 15 days. I don't think it's realistic. There's a breaking ball swung on, his grounded softly past the pitcher's mound. Lindor's going to have to hurry. He fires to first. It's not going to be in time. Johnson's going to get himself an infield single to load the bases. And that is going to advance the runner Merrill over to third, and the runner Cronenworth will stop at second. So bases are now full of Padres, and it's going to bring the catcher Elias Diaz to the plate. Friend Gracie Lynn says soccer got so popular because people had a national team to cheer for. Baseball's at a point where that's what it needs to do to grow now too. Yeah, I think there's some merit to that. I think that when you look at the sport of baseball, the growth of the game has been a bit of a problem. You know, the countries that traditionally play it, but growing it in other areas also has been a challenge. First pitch fastball delivered to Diaz, taken for a called strike. Count is 0-1. When you think of other sports, sometimes it's the Olympics that really have the attention of other parts of the world, maybe not so much in the U.S. 0-1 on the way here as the pitch delivered to Diaz is a fastball taken for a called strike. And so just like with Johnson, Montaz is way ahead in the count here at 0-2 to Diaz. So no balls and 2 strikes as the right-hander ready to go again. He kicks and fires. Fastball swung on and missed. Good old-fashioned hard ball as he blows it by him at 97. Diaz is in the books, and that's going to be a squandered opportunity here for the Padres in their half of the second. They leave the bases loaded. There was no runs. There were 2 hits. There were no errors, and there were 3 runners left aboard. We are now through 2 complete. Your score is the Mets 1 and the Padres no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few after this timeout from our friend, Matt Hollis.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I'll take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the top of the third inning, and coming to bat for the Mets will be the top of the batting order. It'll be Nimmo, Lindor, and Soto to face the right-hander Dylan Cease. Dylan Cease, 40 pitches through his first 2 innings of work. The first inning was a rather easy inning as he struck out the side 1, 2, 3 on just 15 pitches, but the second inning he had to work a little bit harder. So we'll see how this shapes up here. It is Nimmo coming to the plate. 0 for 1 tonight. Struck out his first trip. 4 strikeouts tonight for Dylan Cease. His 2 innings of work. As he steps in, does Nimmo, waiting on the first offering. And the pitch is a breaking ball that catches the outside corner. I don't think that the players tonight are overly impressed with Emil Jimenez's strike zone. We're talking the other day about a strike zone from Marvin Hudson. We were going to check that after the game. There's another breaking ball that catches the outside corner, and the count now goes to 0-2. I do realize that the K zone, you can't tell on TV where the K zone is or where it's not. I'm trying to read the glove of the catcher and how he sets up, how he receives the ball. So here's the 0-2 pitch. There's a fastball that is swung on and fouled away at 97. Count remains at 0-2. But that being said, can be difficult sometimes to do that, at least to be able to get a look at what that might be. As the 0-2 pitch is on the way, there is a breaking ball that misses down in the dirt, and the count goes to 1-2 on Nimmo. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Cease getting the sign, rocking himself back into the windup, and he delivers. Breaking ball that just misses outside. Now, that's exactly the same spot where the last couple of pitches, and so that is now 2-2. That's what's going to drive these teams crazy, is the consistency. If you did an overlay on the first 2 pitches and then that one there, why is that one not a strike? And there's a fastball taken at the knees for a called third strike. And Nimmo is going to be talking to himself because he doesn't think that's a strike. He thinks it's below the zone. So we're playing a little bit of makeup here as we go along tonight. We'll get a look at this here. This is going to be Nimmo gone for the second time tonight on strikes. 1 out in the inning. Frankie Lindor coming to the plate. He is 0 for 1 tonight. He struck out his first time up against Cease, and the pitch is on the way. Fastball at 99, taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. I have to tell you, I really am impressed with the power of Cease. But as I mentioned earlier, one thing that was noticeable, or at least noticeable in my mind, is just how he short arms the ball, much like Troy Melton of the Detroit Tigers tonight Watching him pitch against the Diamondbacks also very much looks like Shane Bieber. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count now goes to 0-2 on Lindor. So no balls and 2 strikes. I bet you the Mets fans that are tuned in either to this or if you're watching it live and listening to us, you just got to drive you a little bit crazy with some of these pitches. Here's the 0-2. Fastball swung on, and it is hammered back to the mound and off the back of the head of Cease. He's down. Digging for second is Lindor. The throw is going to be offline, and Dylan Cease is down on his backside. They're calling for the trainer. So the pitch came. He delivered the pitch, and he basically was falling off to his glove side. Ball was a chopper, maybe more than a chopper back. Came and hit him right in the back of the head. Ball deflected over on the third base side. It was absolutely incredible. A bit of a scary sight there. Good thing the ball wasn't hit harder than what it was. Manager Mike Schilt is out there, as is all the rest of the players concerned about that. I mean, I've seen players hit before. I was at a game where in Seattle one time, Cole Hamels got hit in the face with a line drive. Now that's not getting hit in the face. Both the trainers helped Cease to his feet. He says he's okay. We're going to see if he gets a couple of pitches here and possibility of Mike Schilt. We'll look at the replay ourselves. Ball was one hop shot right off of the back of Cease's head. As I said, he got his glove up and he couldn't get it to stop the ball. Ended up taking flush right at the bottom of the head. Curious to see if they're going to leave him in the game or if they're going to maybe make a decision for precautionary reasons to take him out. But Cease is going to go to the top of the hill here. Get a couple of tune-up pitches. He says he was all right. Gracie Lynn said, I saw Charlie Clutch get hit in the face, flush in the face with a pitch in Washington when he was with the Braves in 19. Pretty much ended his career. Well, who knows? Dylan Cease coming into the ballgame tonight was struggling this season, and with his record 3-10. This might actually open him up. This might start to get him going. Next thing you know, he comes out and he's just throwing bullets and painting corners. He's had a couple of more tune-up tosses, and he wants another one here before they turn him loose. It looks like he's ready to go, and so he says so. So Mike Schilt and the pitching coach and the rest of the brass tell him, get off the mound. I'm ready to go here. So Schilt says, yeah, he's in agreement with him. And there go the rest of the training staff. He's ready to go back to work. So Frankie Lindor, they're going to rule that for Lindor. Definitely a single. I want to see if they gave him an extra base hit on that. But he is the runner at second base. It is a double for Lindor as the official score, with of course, the assistance of being the back of the head of Dylan Cease playing a part in that. And it was an 0-2 pitch as well. That's the other frustrating part. There's been a couple of times tonight for both Montez and for Cease that the other team has got to him 0-2. So this brings Soto to the plate. The first pitch to Soto is a breaking ball that misses outside for ball one. Count is 1-0. Soto struck out his first time up. Batting from the left side here against the right-handed throwing Cease. As the 1-0 is on the way, there's a breaking ball that misses in the dirt, and the count is now 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. As we mentioned, we're keeping an eye on the games from around Major League Baseball today with lots of games still underway. There was a fastball taken at the knees for a called strike. It's now 2-1 to Soto. Red Sox are holding on to a 4-3 lead against the Twins in the Twin City. It's going to be Minnesota coming to bat in their bottom half of inning number 9. And there is a breaking ball that Jimenez has called a strike. Now Juan Soto's had enough. Now this is what I was talking about earlier. The balls and the strikes tonight, we're only here in the top half of inning number 3, have been questionable at best. And Soto is giving it to the plate umpire, Jimenez. And Jimenez has got his hands up asking, like, what are we talking about? Well, there's a lot to talk about because both teams here have a different interpretation of the strike zone than what the home plate umpire does. It's not just a San Diego strike zone. He's got to be better for both teams. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. And there's a fastball swung on and lifted foul over the seats over on the third base side. Makes it very difficult, especially for hitters, when you start to see this, and then it's as long as he's calling it the same all the time, but that's been part of the beef. There have been pitches that he's called for strikes out there, and then he's called pitches that haven't been strikes. Basically the same location. And that would have been case in point to the Brandon Nimmo at bat that began the inning where he ended up striking out looking. These major league players, in some cases, have a very good understanding of the strike zone. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Fastball backs Soto off the plate, and the count now goes to 3-2. And if there's a player in the league who could talk about having a plate discipline in strike zone, nobody seems to walk as much as Juan Soto does. He'll be able to give you his best take on what do you think a ball and a strike may be. Here's the pitch from Cease. Fastball at 98, swung on and fouled away. The count remains at 3-2 strikes to Soto. 3 of the 12 hitters that Cease has faced have worked him to a full count. Of course, this is Soto doing it for the first time here. And the pitch is on the way. There's a breaking ball that's taken for a called third strike. Soto doesn't like it, and he's going to need to tone it down a little bit. Here comes the manager as he's come out to haul him away. So we're going to have some fireworks here. Soto better keep on going. Now there's hands are firing up in the air. He is more important on the field for the Mets than anybody else. But the manager of the Mets is out pleading his case. Now we've got fireworks in San Diego, and rightfully so, because I can see Mike Shildt sitting in the dugout for the Padres saying, I can feel your pain because you've been just as brutal to the Mets as you've been to us tonight. Just haven't had the opportunity to come out and have my piece yet at you. Certainly the manager of the Mets is letting it be heard there. That pitch there, I don't think, that one there, definitely the curveball, I could see that as being a strike. That, there's no doubt about it. But it was the pitch earlier in the at-bat that got Juan Soto up in arms. And this is still going on, so I don't know if they have run the manager yet. We're going to find out in a minute. I haven't seen that. He's still giving his piece to the base umpire, and that looks like it would be Doug Innings as he is walking off the field. And that, it looks like he has been dumped, so an ejection here as the Mets manager's night is going to be done early as he is passing the game sheet over to the bench coach, which is John Gibbons, the former Toronto Blue Jay manager. So Gibby now in control here. So Carlos Mendoza gets to hit the showers early. And Mike Shildt, not sure what Shildt has gone out and talk about, but Shildt is making his way there. There's a pretty relaxed John Gibbons. I remember when he was with the Toronto Blue Jays, he had a couple of stints in Toronto as their manager, and he was a pretty fiery character. Give you the one-time catcher, big league catcher. Well, with 2 away here, that brings up Pete Alonso to the plate as the right-handed hitting first baseman of the Mets, waiting on the first offering here from Cease. As the pitch is a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. And for what it's worth, Dylan Cease has 6 strikeouts tonight as we are 2 2/3 innings into the ball game. Right-hander holds set, checks the runner Lindor at second. And now he does the inside spaghetti move, and that chases Lindor back to second base. Gracie Lynn says, why wasn't Soto tossed? There's a breaking ball swung on and missed, and that's going to be 0-2. I think they were able to get to him before he presented the magic words to the umpire. I think that's probably the case. And who knows, maybe he didn't have quite enough to say. Sometimes you got to look at the leash here. It is the top of the third inning. And for the players to be a little bit upset, or as upset as they are, you're going to have a little longer leash. It's late in the game, and you can do it. There's a breaking ball waved at and missed, and Cease has struck out the side again. And you can feel the frustration of the Mets as they have struck out the side for the second time tonight as Cease. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. 1 runner left the board. We're moving to the bottom of the third inning. Your score is the Mets won, the Padres no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. As the New York Mets are not happy with the home plate umpire tonight. We can understand why. We'll be back in just a bit. Welcome back, everybody. It's going to be the top of the order coming to bat here for the Padres in inning number 3. Tatis Jr., Arias, and Machado to get things going for the Padres. Fireworks in the top of the third as it was Carlos Mendoza ejected by home plate umpire Emil Jimenez, arguing balls and strikes. Well, I feel Mendoza's pain because we've been arguing the strike zone pretty much since the game started, but it wasn't just for the Mets, but also for the Padres. It's been brutal both ways. Neither of the teams have been able to get into a groove as Jimenez has been flipping coins all night. And the first pitch on the way is a fastball that misses inside for ball 1, 1-0 to Tatis Jr. 0-for-1 tonight is Fernando Tatis. He popped a second his first time up, batting from the right side here against the right-handed throwing Montaz. And it is a fastball swung on. It is grounded over to third. Mauricio fields it. He fires a bullet across the diamond, and that is going to retire Tatis on a ground out 6-3. Sorry, check that, 5-3. So 1 up and 1 away. I'll bring up the first baseman in Luis Arias. Well, for Arias, he is 1-for-1 tonight. He singled and was stranded. Actually, he was erased at a double play in the first inning to end inning number 1. As he waits on the offering here, and the first pitch is a 96-mile-an-hour fastball that backs him off the plate. 7 for 10 in his career against the right-hander at Montaz. And now with that hit in the first inning, he has an 11-game hit streak. He has started to fire up as this hitting machine for the Padres as he takes a 95-mile-an-hour heater at the knees for called strike. Count is 1-1. We are in the bottom half of inning number 3. Friend Gracie Len said that Dylan Cease hasn't pitched like this really since last year. Every time she's watched him play, he's been garbage. Well, yeah, that's been a lot this year. There's a fastball swung on. It is lifted down the left field line. And coming in and making the catch is Nimmo, and that is going to retire Arias for the second out of the inning. So 2 quick outs here, and that'll bring up the third baseman in Manny Machado. Well, for Machado, he is 0-for-1 tonight. He grounded into a double play his first time up. Entered the fray hitting an even 300. He has 11 hits over his last 3 games. he has been on fire himself. There's a fastball that's swung on and missed, and the count is 0-1. Have to say, when I watched Montas pitch, he does throw a fastball. He does throw a heavy ball, but there's not a whole lot of movement on his pitches. And it looks like Machado may have caught Alvarez on the backswing as he stopped to apologize. And there's a breaking ball that comes inside, and bouncing up and down is Machado as he's been hit on the hand with the pitch. I'd like to see what this is all about. He's jumping up and down in some serious pain. I also like to take a look to see if he was indeed hit by the pitch. Sometimes it'll hit the knob of the bat. That pitch there had come inside. Yeah, it looked like he may. I don't know. I don't want to see that one again. He's jumping up and down like it is. I don't know. I wonder if the Mets may want to have a look at this one. Doesn't look like it, though, as Machado is slowly making his way to first base. So Machado was front and center on the weekend against the Cardinals as he was plugged by the Cardinals, as was Wilson Contreras in the Friday night game. Benches had emptied in St. Louis. So the Padres had come off a series with the Cardinals where there was a little bit of heat and a little bit of tension. So now here we go again as Machado has been hit by the pitch here. He's very fortunate. There could be fingers broken, could be a wrist that gets broken in that situation. You don't want to get hit in that spot. So that brings Jackson Merrill to the plate. He, too, is sporting a hit streak. He's got 8 games right now under his belt as he has singled in the first inning tonight. There goes the runner down to second. The throw down is not going to be in time. It squirts away from Lindor. Nice job there by the second baseman, Beatty, bracking up the play. Machado's going to get himself a stolen base. That's going to be number 9 on the year. Got a pretty good jump, did Machado. The ball was thrown to the right field side of second base. Lindor trying to pick it. If Lindor picks it, he has a chance to get Machado, but the ball was so far up that baseline. He was good, solid 3-4 feet from the bag. There's a fastball that swung on and is lifted foul. The count runs even to 1-1 on Merrill. Our friend Joe Mann's been in the house tonight. He's been working here. Mets with a early 1-0 lead. Frankie Montas has been the part of Houdini here in the first couple innings. Certainly in the second inning. Breaking ball misses down. It's now 2-1 to Merrill. Machado in scoring position here with 2 gone and 2 balls and 1 strike to the center fielder of the Padres. Machado getting his lead over at second base. Montas checks the runner, now delivers. There's a breaking ball that misses down. It's now 3-1 to Merrill. Is this a similar situation where you walk Merrill to bring up Bogaerts to force a forced situation? Do you want to let Merrill beat you, or do you want to let Bogaerts beat you? Here comes the 3-1 pitch. Montas delivers. Breaking ball misses down. It's going to be ball 4. That's kind of like when Cronenworth was walked unceremoniously in the last half inning. That's going to put the runners at first and second, and it is going to bring Bogaerts to the plate. That also kind of drives you a little bit crazy if you're a manager. You get the first 2 batters out in the inning, and you plug a guy and you walk a guy. So the Padres have runners at first and second with 2 gone. As we mentioned in the last half inning, it was Carlos Mendoza, or the last inning, Mendoza was tossed by home plate umpire Emil Jimenez. John Gibbons, the bench coach, is taken over for the Mets. As the right-hander Montas holds set, now he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on. It's hit foul down the third base line. Count is quickly 0-1 to Bogaerts. No balls and 1 strike. Xander Bogaerts stepping back in. This is a very dangerous Padre lineup, and they can, at any moment, 2 or 3 players could get hot and really carry the team. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses down, and the count goes even to 1-1 on Bogaerts. 60 pitches so far for Montez. Only 32 have been from strikes. He's just barely over the 50% total. I'd be shocked to see him hang around as long as he has. Maybe get through 4 here, possibly 5. Breaking ball, take it through a called strike. The count is 1-2. Obviously, the goal is to try to get 5 or 6 innings, but his pitch count is ratcheting up at quite the rate. If they can get him again here in the next half inning, it could be an early bullpen night for the Mets. So here comes the 1-2 offering as Montez kicks and delivers. And there's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is going to be looped into center field. It's going to get down for a base hit. Rounding third and coming home is Manny Machado. He was waving Merrill home, but they held him up. It's going to be a single and an RBI for Bogaerts. Stopping at third is Merrill. In to score the tying run is Machado, and we've got ourselves a brand new ball game at 1 apiece. That is going to bring up the designated hitter in Gavin Sheets. So if you are a fan of the Mets, you're not going to be happy about that. That is for certain. I think I probably would have taken my chances too. I know that the runner Machado was waving Jackson Merrill to come home, but the third base coach, having none of it, held him up. So let's bring Sheets to the plate with runners on the corners and 2 away. And all of this has started with 2 outs. After retiring Tatis Jr. and Arias, a hit by pitch, a walk, and now a single. We've got the Padres evened up now with the Mets at 1. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball swung on. This ball is hammered foul over on the first base side. The count now is 0-1 to Gavin Sheets. Sheets is 0 for 1 tonight. He struck out his first time up. I have to say, I do like Sheets. I think this is a under-the-radar type of acquisition. There's a breaking ball swung on. It is popped up down the third base line. It's going to reach the seats. The runner Bogaerts was moving with the pitch, but now he's got to retreat back to first. It's no balls and 2 strikes. Xander Bogaerts, he's got 16 stolen bases and 17 attempts this year. He can still get himself around the base paths. That is for certain. So here comes the 0-2 offering as Montez holds to the belt, now delivers. Fastball up in the zone at 96, swung on and missed. Sheets is in the books. He's gone for the third out of the inning. He couldn't hold it up. But the Padres get a run back. They had 1 run in the inning on the benefit of 1 hit. No errors and 2 left aboard. We are now moving to the top of the 4th inning. It is the Mets 1 and the Padres 1. Stay with us, everybody. It is baseball on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel when we return after this from our good friend, Eric.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be Jeff McNeil, Mark Vientos, and Brett Beatty to come to bat for the Mets in their half of the 4th inning. Top of the 4th here as the game is back knotted up at 1s. We've had a little bit of everything tonight. We've had the ejection. We've had A ball hammered off the back of the head of Dylan Cease. Lots of different things have gone on, and some of this has been pretty good entertainment here so far tonight. It is a beautiful, temperate evening in San Diego as we set a game time, 68 degrees and clear skies. Take that all the way to the bank if you are a San Diego native. So we'll see how that ends up feeling. So the pitcher Cease has completed his tune-up tosses, and we are ready to resume the action. Pretty good crowd in San Diego. I enjoyed that ballpark. I don't know if it's my favorite. I still think my favorite ballpark I've been to has been PNC in Pittsburgh. As the first pitch on the way is a fastball that is swung on and fouled away, and the count is 0-1 to Jeff McNeil. McNeil officially does not have an at-bat tonight. He walked his first time up. He also has scored the only run for the Mets this evening. As the 0-1 on the way is a fastball at 97 that misses way upstairs, and the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Our friend Gracie Lynn said, shame that Sheets couldn't hold up his swing, but happy the Padres leveled the scoring. There was a fastball that swung on, and it is fouled away over on the first base side, the count, or third base side. The count is 1-2 to McNeil. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. He's ready to go again. He rocks himself into the windup, and he kicks and delivers. There is a breaking ball that misses down and away. Count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Again, Cease getting the sign from his catcher. He rocks himself into the windup and delivers. Fastball misses way upstairs at 99. Count goes full to McNeil. We were looking at this earlier, and so far tonight, there have been 13 batters come to the plate. Actually, if you include McNeil now, 14 batters. Cease has gone to full counts now on 4 of the hitters. So when you're at 28% of the time, that's not a good sign. There's a fastball that McNeil checks his swing on and fouls away, and the count remains at 3-2. Even Frankie Montez, to some degree, in his case, he has faced 16 batters tonight, and he has gone to full count on 2 of them. So a little bit better. There is a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 3-2 to McNeil. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. That's one thing we were talking about, how the pitchers use their arsenal these days and how they pitch. As it is on its way here. It's a fastball that misses way upstairs. That's going to be ball 4. And by our counts, that is going to be the 3rd walk issued here tonight. As Jeff McNeil has himself base on ball. Today seems like it's a run a day of spam and calls that are, or text, all the rest of that stuff. Although somebody is here, there's a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count now is no balls and 1 strike to Vientos. At least somebody who's listening in is texting us wanting to know who the player was in the video. You have to go back and watch it again. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on and missed. Count goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. So Vientos in the hole at 0-2. Again, Cease getting his sign. Vientos waiting on the offering. I'm not sure if I like the position where Vientos is. His hands are kind of high. His bat lays down. And the pitch comes in. It's a fastball swung on. And in saying that, he drills this ball to deep right center field. Going back, leaping up is Tatis. I don't know if he made the catch or not. He brought it back, and then he dropped the ball. We're going to have to see if that's been ruled as a catch or not. But Tatis has absolutely crawled up the wall and brings that one back. And that is going to be all the way around. It looked like he had dropped the ball on the exchange. So Jeff McNeil, we're going to look at this one again. What a play by the right fielder Tatis. He goes up, he absolutely robs a home run, pulls it away, and then as he's trying to get the ball out of his glove, can't hang on to it, ends up losing it. But that should have been a home run for Vientos. He's going to feel a little hard done by. He's gone for the first out of the inning, and that'll bring up the second baseman and Brett Beatty. And lots to cheer for Dylan Cease. So that brings Beatty to the plate, who doesn't have an at-bat here officially tonight. He does have a sacrifice fly and an RBI. Pitch on the way, fastball missing upstairs, and the count is 1-0 to Beatty. Beatty batting .235 with 11 homers and 33 runs batted in. He has played much better here, and there's a breaking ball that's down, but up goes the hand of the umpire, Emil Jimenez, who says that Beatty went around. Count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Just lost our feed there for a moment as that breaking ball just misses to Beatty. Its count is now 2-1. As it is going to be a fastball from Cease at 96. It misses upstairs, and it goes now to 3-1 on Beatty. So hopefully we have everything all back in order again. Francisco Alvarez waiting his turn on deck. So 3 balls and 1 strike to Beatty. Now the right-hander Cease steps out the backside. He's going to go through this again. As we're ready to go, here comes the off-rig from the right-hander. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count now goes full to Beatty. Again, establishing his lead over at first base is the flying squirrel. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on and missed. Throw down to second, goes into center field. And not knowing where it is, the runner, McNeil, slides safely into second with a stolen base. Beatty down on strikes. He's gone for the second out of the inning. And that'll bring up the catcher in Francisco Alvarez. That ball was airmailed right over Bogaerts. Nice job by Bogaerts to sell that he had the ball. McNeil wasn't going anywhere. He slid headfirst into the bag. It was good play by him. He was looking to the umpire to see if he had able to do that. So that is 1 ball and 1 strike. Or sorry, 3 balls and 2 strikes was the strikeout pitch to Beatty. First pitch delivered to Alvarez is a breaking ball missing upstairs. The count is 1-0. Alvarez tonight, he walked his first time up. He was stranded at first. As he's batting from the right side here against the right-handed throwing Cease. Pitch on the way. Fastball misses down, and the count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. 1-1 Padres and Mets here in the top half of inning number 4. And that is going to bring the pitching coach out of the dugout. Our friend Joe Mansman says, come on, that is for sure Juan Alvarez, but Dylan Cease is going to come out and they're going to talk to him for a moment. I don't know if Cease is going to have a whole lot of left in him here. He is at, by our count, 79 pitches. That might have been the 80th. No, that was the 79th pitch of the ball game. I can't see him going much past the 5th inning, if at all. So it looks like this conversation is going to be over as the home plate umpires come out to break it up. So runner at second, McNeil, 2 gone here, 2 balls and no strikes to Alvarez. The most economical inning for pitches by Cease was the first inning. He threw 15. Everything else has been a slog. He does have 8 strikeouts here tonight. And that is sandwiched around 3 base on balls. Here's the pitch. Fastball at 97 misses up in the zone, and the count is now 3-0 to Alvarez. It's a very similar type of at-bat that Alvarez had the last time. Went 3-0, and then he ended up walking him. You wonder if this is going to be done intentionally, unintentionally, to get the face of Ronnie Mauricio. Here's the 3-0. Fastball center cut for a called strike, and the count goes to 3-1. Joe Mansman says, good, make him labor out there. Yeah, labor he is for sure. But now time has been called as Alvarez has asked for time, steps out of the batter's box. So here comes the 3-1 pitch as Cease holds set. Checks the runner McNeil at second, now delivers. Breaking ball misses way upstairs. That's going to be ball 4. So Alvarez gets his second walk of the evening. That's going to put runners at first and second. I would think both of these teams have got to get the bullpens going here pretty quickly. 1-1 here in the top of the 4th inning, and both of the pitchers look like that they are running out of gas fast, and especially if you bring Cease back in to face the top of the batting order for the 3rd time. I'm not sure he's going to be able to get through that unscathed. So here's the first offering to Mauricio as he kicks and delivers a fastball. It's swung on. It's popped up over on the left side. Could be playable. Coming over and making the catch is Machado, and that is going to do it here. So the Mets, they had another opportunity as they squander a couple of base runners. There was no runs, no hits, no errors. There were 2 left aboard. Your score as we now move to the bottom of the 4th inning. It is 1-1. We'll be back in just a bit. Appreciate you for being here with us. Time for me to go refresh my drink so we can carry this one on for another couple more innings as well. Here is our friend Matt again.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 7, 8, and 9 hitters to come to face Frankie Montas here in the 4th inning. Our friend Gracie Lynn says, do you think Cease is falling apart after the hit to the head? He wasn't very good in the 2nd inning. He got hit in the head in the 3rd inning off of the Frankie Lindor comebacker. But I would say that his game was falling apart back in inning number 2. First pitch fastball delivered to Cronenworth, misses down and away, and the count is 1-0. For what it's worth, I would say Frankie Montas is going to have to do some work here. Our friend Gracie Lynn deposits a super sticker. We appreciate that. I can't see the sticker on my main feed here. There's a fastball ticket for a called strike. The count is a 1-1. I'll have to go and take a look on the afterwards to see what that's all about. We appreciate you for your support of the channel as we are here in the bottom of inning number 4. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep right center field. Moving back underneath it is Soto, and he's there to make the catch, and that is going to retire Cronenworth as he is gone for the first out of the inning. So 1 gone here, and it'll bring up the left fielder in Bryce Johnson. We're almost at a point where we can buy ourselves a beer, although I have to say, I haven't really been drinking a whole lot this summer. I'm interested. I always like to try a beer when I'm in a different place. I know it was at Imperial, or it was the drink of choice in Costa Rica. And there is a breaking ball ticket for a called strike. The count is on to Bryce Johnson. Our friend Joe says, did you hear Ryan Sandberg passed away? Yeah, that was right at the top of the stream. We mentioned that when people were coming in. Hall of Famer Ryan Sandberg had passed away today. As there's a fastball swung on and missed, and the count goes to 0-2 on Johnson. I had a buddy of mine who was umpiring in the minor leagues, and Sandberg was managing at the time. I'll share that story for another day, probably not as appropriate as today with the timing of his passing. Fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. That's kind of funny. Gracie Lynn says, as long as they send you the donation, I'll have to go and take a look after the game. Sometimes we are able to pick it up then. There's a fastball swung on. This is popped up on the right side, shallow right field. Backing up underneath it is the second baseman, Batty, and he's going to make the catch. It's going to retire Johnson for the second out of the inning. So 2 quick outs here. That is exactly what the doctor ordered for Frankie Montas. So 2 away here. It brings up the catcher, Elias Diaz. Joe Mansman says 9 years sober for him next week. Not really much of a big drinker. I just like one here and there. Never have been. Fastball swung on, lifted into left field, coming in and with plenty of room to make the catch is Brandon Nimmo. And a really quick inning here for Montez, and that is exactly what he and the Mets require. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. It's the first 1-2-3 inning for the Mets pitchers since the unconventional one in inning number 1. We are now through 4 complete. Your score is the Mets 1 and the Padres 1. We'll be back here in just a couple moments with all the action right after this. Let's go back to our friend Steve Rademacher. We've only seen him once tonight. It's time to see him again.
Hello, guys. Thank you for joining Freddie here on his baseball game. And I'm Steve Rademacher, and my channel is really all about everybody, including all my international friends. We have such stuff as non-sport packs from Canada, the OP Cheese. We have the Greek Freak. We have money from around the world. We have Lira. We have Yen. We have francs. We have pounds. We have Deutschmarks. We have all kinds of cool stuff like that. We even have some cooler things like Japanese women wrestlers and OP-Chi baseball cards where I cannot read the back. We even have unopened material like the royal family, I know it's backwards, from London, England. Thank you for watching. Back to Freddie.
And thank you for being with us here, Mr. Steve Rademacher. We will be back here in just a couple moments. It is going to be the top of the 5th inning when we return right after this musical timeout. Welcome back, everybody. It is still Dylan Cease on the hill as he's coming back out for his 5th inning of work, and one would think probably his last, as he has thrown 83 pitches through 4 innings. It has been a labor of love tonight as he will face Brandon Nimmo for the 3rd time. First pitch to Nimmo is a 97-mile-an-hour heater that misses upstairs for ball 1. Count is 1-0. Nimmo batting from the left side here against the right-handed throwing Dylan Cease. As the right-hander rocks into the windup and delivers, there's a breaking ball swung on. It is grounded up the middle for a base hit. And he is going to be aboard with a leadoff single here to start the 5th. So that will bring Francisco Lindor to the plate. So Nimmo off the schneid with his first knock of the night. Dylan Cease, I can see two things with Cease. I can see there's a lot of things to like about him. And then there's also a lot of things not to like about him because he just seems like he just labors a lot with his pitches. That was a word that Joe used in our chat earlier, and that's really, really true. Fastball that misses upstairs. He's not economical with his pitches. 1 ball and no strikes to Lindor. Falling behind in the counts here, the first 2 batters of the inning. 1-0 on the way. Breaking ball down. Count now goes to 2-0. And you certainly don't want to set the table with runners on to face Soto and Alonso. That is the recipe for disaster. Or at least my recipe for disaster. And a recipe for a win for the Mets if you're a Mets fan. Here's the pitch. Fastball catches the outside corner for a called strike. The count goes to 2-1. Our friend Redbeard in the house tonight. Glad you're doing pretty good. I'm sure we'll catch up with you a little bit later. We're glad to have you around. That is our friend Jimmy Redbeard. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count goes to 2-2. Gracie Lynn says she's a bit shocked that Cease is out there for the 5th. Yeah, especially the way it went. There is action in the bullpen as Jeremiah Estrada is up and throwing. And that might be a little too late. I mean, I guess they're trying to get through it, but not the 3rd time through the top part of the order. There's a breaking ball swung on, and did he miss it or did he catch it? Or are they going to go up and have a look at it? So Frankie Lindor, I guess, fouled that one off. So 2 balls and 2 strikes it remains. We're going to get a look at this ourselves. It was a breaking ball down. Lindor swung at it. It looked like maybe he got a piece of it. It was definitely trapped by the catcher. So here we go. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Pitch on the way. It is a fastball swung on his bled slowly down the 3rd base line. Manny Machado was playing well off the line and almost in the 6 hole. And it is a swinging bunt for Lindor. He's going to reach safely with a base hit. That's going to put runners at 1st and 2nd. That's Lindor's 2nd hit of the night. 2 of the weirdest hits you're going to see by one player in a game. Looked like he cued it right off the end of the bat. Ball had a lot of English on it. Ended up going past the bag at 3rd base. It is now it's now runners at 1st and 2nd, bringing Juan Soto to the plate. So this is definitely a recipe for disaster here for Dylan Cease. But the Mets fans are circling the wagons here as Soto has stepped out. 0 for 2 tonight for Soto. He has struck out twice, once looking and once swinging. But all that can be erased right here with a big time at bat against the righty Cease. Pitch is on the way. Breaking ball misses outside. Count is 1-0. Soto hitting .251 on the year. 25 homers, 62 runs batted in. He's got to be thinking it's time to put a charge into one. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on, grounded to 2nd. They go to 2nd for 1, back to 1st. And it's not going to be in time. Soto getting down the line pretty good. He bounces into a fielder's choice. It's going to erase Lindor at 2nd, 4-6. He's out for the 1st out of the inning. Nimmo will take 3rd. And Soto, to his credit, hustling down the lines, keeping himself out of the double play. I'll put runners at the corners, and it'll bring Pete Alonso to the plate. I don't know if that was one of the better turns at 2nd base by the shortstop Bogarts. We'll get a look at the replay. And definitely for sure, good job by Soto hustling out down the line. And so for those of you who are not Soto fans, he can do those things. That was a good piece of base running by him. First pitch, fastball is swung on and missed, and now Soto has stolen 2nd. So he's stolen base for Soto. It's going to put runners at 2nd and 3rd. There's no balls and 1 strike to Alonso. Well, you got the open base at 1st base. I don't know if Alonso's going to get a good pitch to hit from here on out. He's going to get a steady diet of slop, one would think. Oh, maybe not. Fastball swung on under the hands and fouled away. Couldn't get the bat extended on that one. The count is now 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes. So big time in the hole. Gracie Lynn says, I liked Soto a lot more when he was with the Nationals. There's a fastball swung on and missed, and the Polar Bear has gone on 3 pitches. He's gone for the second out of the inning, down on strikes, and that is going to leave it all up to the center fielder, Jeff McNeil. So rearing back and just letting it hum. It looked like it was a cutter more than anything. Had a little bit of a spin to it. So by our counts now, that is 9 strikeouts already for Dylan Cease here tonight. They're going to hold up 4 fingers and intentionally walk Jeff McNeil. That is going to bring up Mark Vientos to the plate. And the first pitch to Vientos is a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is quickly 1-0. Vientos has singled, and he's flown out in his 2 trips. And here comes the offering from Cease, checking the runner, now delivers. Breaking ball swung on and missed. Count goes to 1-1. Gracie Lynn says the Nationals are much less dislikable than the Mets. Yeah, the Mets could be definitely disliked by a lot of people. Not as disliked as the Yankees, mind you. There's a breaking ball missing upstairs, and the count goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. If you just joined us, the New York Mets got the scoring going in the first inning. A sacrifice fly off the bat of Brett Beatty brought home Jeff McNeil. Padres followed up in the third with 2 out. Manny Machado was hit by a pitch. After Jackson Merrill walked, it was an RBI single off the bat of Bogarts. Now they've got extra arms up in the bullpen due San Diego. This could be the last batter that Cease is going to face. Here's the 2-1. Breaking ball just misses down. It goes to 3-1 on Vientos. There's nowhere to put him. Bases are full. 2 gone here in the top half of inning number 5. This is going to be, that was pitch number 100 for Cease. Here's 101. Breaking ball swung on. Popped up foul. Going to reach the seats over on the first base side, and that runs the count full to Vientos. Well, now the runners are going to be on the move. Runner at third, Nimmo. Runner at second, Soto. Runner at first, McNeil. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch on the way. Fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep right field. This ball could be trouble, and this ball is going to be gone. Vientos has gone the other way, and he's just smoked a grand slam to right field. And that is going to be the 7th home run of the season for Vientos. And it looks like he's waking up out of his coma, as he has now given the Mets a 5-1 lead. He hit it almost in the same spot that he flew out his last time up when Fernando Tatis brought the home run ball back. This time here, he hit an extra 3 or 4 seats. And that has now given the 5-1 lead here for the Mets in the 5th inning. If that does not spell the end for Dylan Cease, I don't know what will. So 4 runs come across off the bat of Vientos. Absolutely obliterated. Did he pitch to 1 batter too many? Well, by the looks of it, we have the answer to that. 5-1 the lead here for the Mets in the 5th inning. Slated to come to bat is Brett Beatty, and we've got ourselves a pitching change. We'll be back in just a few as Dylan Cease's day is done. Mike Schilt, where were you? We'll be right back in just a couple moments after this. From our friend Steve Rademacher, he is going to deliver you a pitching change.
Hey, where are you going? It's a pitching change. Come on, sit back down. You don't go out there. Don't go get no food or anything. You've got a big decision. Are you going to throw in there Rollie Fingers? Maybe Goose Gossage? How about maybe Mariano Rivera or Lee Smith, Dennis Eckersley? Who knows? It's a pitching change. Come on back. You know who I would pick for this? A nice, tall, cool one. There's my pitcher. That's my pitching change. That's a winning combination. Come see my channel. Every day is opening day. And according to Bob, I must be in the front row. Blah.
Welcome back, everybody. The Padres are going to the bullpen, maybe one batter too late. It is going to be David Morgan taking over, making his 23rd appearance of the year. He's got a record of 1-1. He's worked 25 and 2/3 innings. He's allowed 22 hits. He's given up 6 runs, all of which have been earned. He has walked 9 and struck out 24. All that by pitching to a 2.10 ERA. So Morgan is on in relief. He's completing his tune-up tosses, and we're ready to resume the action here in just a couple moments. Friend Gracie Lynn says, I guess I still don't understand the Jeff McNeil intentional walk. Why would you walk a guy with little power? Face a guy who did. Well, the main reason why you would do that is you're trying to set up a fielder's choice or a forced play at any base. That would have been the easy answer to that. First pitch here delivered to Matty is a fastball that misses up and away. So maybe not so much that. The second reason probably also could be is depending upon what Vientos has done against Cease versus that of McNeil. And so McNeil being a left-handed stick, or at least batting left-handed against Cease, there was a fastball taken for a called strike. They would look at those peripherals. And Dwayne Banks points out because Vientos is more strikeout prone. That is correct. It is all or nothing there. As that he has not had as good a season as he did in 2024. So that would be my piece. Breaking ball misses down to Beatty. The count is now 2-1. So what is the difference? Well, yeah, the last time it was the right fielder Tatis hauling it back. This time he hit it 4 rows deeper, so he couldn't get it. Here comes the 2-1 pitch as the right-hander Morgan kicks and fires. Fastball swung on. This ball is hammered into deep center field. Getting on his horse is Merrill, but he's going to have room to make the catch. Good swing there by Beatty, but right to the center fielder. And that is going to do it here, but one batter too late. 4 runs in the inning on the grand slam by Mark Vientos. There was, by our counts, 3 hits. There was no errors and nobody left the board. We're now halfway through this one. We're going to the bottom of the 5th inning. Your score is the New York Mets 5 and the San Diego Padres 1. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back here in just a few. And we appreciate you guys for listening in on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Be right back after this. Coming to bat, it'll be Tatis Jr., Arias, and Machado. Welcome back, everybody. It's going to be the top of the order. Fernando Tatis Jr., Luis Arias, and Manny Machado, as they will be facing Frankie Montas, who's coming out for his 5th inning of work. Boy, if you would ask me a couple innings ago who would have been the one on life support, maybe it would have been Montas as opposed to Cease. But Montas has been able to hold it in. He has retired 4 in a row now, As the first pitch on the way to Tatis Jr. is a fastball swung on and lifted foul down the right field line, and the count is quickly 0-1. Tatis Jr. has popped to second and grounded to third in his 2 trips to the plate. Batting from the right side here against the right-handed throwing Montas. Rocks into the windup and delivers. There's a fastball swung on, grounded softly over to the right side, and it is Brett Beatty sliding, trying to make the play, and he ends up kicking it into right field. Unable to come up with it. It could probably be a single and an error, one would have to think. We'll see what the official scores have to say. He was playing more up the middle, had to go into the 4-hole, slid to try to make the play, and then he turned into a soccer player, kicked the ball more down the right field line than anything. And it was Fernando Tatis digging hard all the way out of the box. We'll have to see how they're going to score that one. But I officially think a single with an error. Oh, my goodness. They actually gave him a double on that one. That's got to be one of the cheapest doubles I've ever seen. So they've officially ruled it as a double. And here comes the first pitch delivered to Luis Arias. It's a fastball that misses way outside. Ball and no strikes. That's got to be changed, I would think. Unreal. So Arias had the count at 1 ball and no strikes. Tatis on at second base. Here comes the pitch. Fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep right field. This ball is going to be trouble if it stays fair, and it's off the foul pole, and the Padres have cut back into the lead. A 2-run shot from the usual light-hitting Luis Arias. It's only his 6th home run of the year. So a bizarre double to get the inning going, and then a gopher ball served up here by Montas. And the Padres answer back quickly with a pair of their own here in the bottom of the 5th inning to make the scoreline 5-3. So don't go anywhere here on a Monday night. This game could be just about ready to get going. That's going to bring up the third baseman in Manny Machado. Joe Mansman says the home scorer giving him a double time to pull Montas. Oh boy, here comes the first offering from Montas, and it's a fastball swung on. This ball is grounded through the 6-hole into left field. Now he's turning into a piñata as everybody's hitting around here. And a base hit here for Machado. That's going to bring up Jackson Merrill, and now the tying run is coming to the plate. And this can get ugly in a hurry. Boy, oh boy. And now we have a conference of Mets on the mound. As Jackson Merrill has moved into the on-deck circle, we'll wait to see what their decisions are going to be here. It looks like it is just going to be a tune-up talk for Montas. So you got Machado at first, Jackson Merrill coming to the plate. He is a 1-for-1 tonight, and he's also drawn a walk. It is Brazaban who is up and throwing in the bullpen. So if you don't go away or don't go too far yet, this game has got a lot of life in it here. That's what you need. When you score some runs, you need your pitcher to come back up and throw up a 0. That is not what the doctor ordered for sure. So Jackson Merrill stepping in. The right-hander Montas holds set, now delivers. A breaking ball swung on it is popped up over on the right side. It's playable. It's in foul territory. Underneath it is Alonso. He calls everybody off, and he's there to make the catch. And that is going to retire Merrill with one pitch here. He is gone. That's going to bring up the shortstop in Xander Bogaerts. Gracie Lynn says a lot of things because I popped away for just a second. She said if she was scoring, she would have given that a 2-base error, honestly. Absolutely. Unfortunately, Mendoza's out of the game, so your manager's been tossed. It would be John Gibbons going to get him, and there's a breaking ball that misses down to Bogaerts. So if he's going to go get Montas, he'll be joining Mendoza in the showers. So here comes the 1-0 pitch as The pitch is on the way. There's a fastball that catches the inside corner. Oh, Bogarts didn't like the call there. So here we are now, the Padres complaining about the strike zone. There's already been one manager gone. That's an interesting question. I wonder when the last time both managers have been ejected from the same game. It's not an everyday occurrence. It does happen, especially when there's balls being thrown at other players or bench clearing incidents. As that breaking ball misses down, and the count now goes to 2-1 on Bogarts. Gracie Lynn says Padres play better when Jose Iglesias is on the field. Here comes the 2-1 pitch from Montaz. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is laced into left field, and it's going to be trouble. It's going to get down. It's into the corner. I don't know if that ended up in the seats, but it's going to be a double. The ball ends up squirting away from Lindor. Looked like it bounced up and may have hit a fan and come back in. Regardless, it's a double off the bat of Bogarts. Stopping at third is Machado. The Padres are flexing their muscles with runners at second and third and one gone, and it's going to bring up the DH and Gavin Sheets. So Mansman's asking if I can pull him now. I'm not even at the game, Joe. If I was in San Diego, I'd hook him out. But John Gibbons is going to do it, and that's going to be the end of the night here for the right-hander Frankie Montaz, as he has mercifully been lifted. We are going to have a pitching change. We'll come back in just a couple of moments. I got to go get myself a refresh on our beverage. We're going to give you a little bit of our friend Steve Rademacher, and I'll be back in just a few right after this timeout.
Hey, where are you going? It's a pitching change. Come on, sit back down. You don't go out there. Don't go get no food or anything. You've got a big decision. Are you going to throw in there Rollie Fingers? Maybe Goose Gossage? How about maybe Mariano Rivera or Lee Smith, Dennis Eckersley? Who knows? It's a pitching change. Come on back. You know who I would pick for this? A nice, tall, cool one. There's my pitcher. That's my pitching change. That's a winning combination. Come see my channel. You know, every day is opening day. And according to Bob, I must be in the front row. Blah.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be a pitching change as the Mets are going to go to Huascar Brazaban, who enters the ball game. The 35-year-old is going to be making his 44th appearance of the campaign. He has got a 5-2 record. He has got a 3.71 ERA. He's worked 51 innings, allowed 37 hits, 24 runs, 21 of which have been earned, walking 25 and striking out 51. He had spent time at the beginning of his big league career with the Marlins. He came to the Mets last year, and he has been in their fold for much of this season. So Huascar Brazaban on in relief, as he will be taking over here for the now departed Frankie Montaz. And the first pitch is a 90-mile-an-hour fastball that comes under the hand. Take it for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Gracie Lynn says, "What's my beverage? I'm an iced tea guy. That is my deal." That is number one. And there is a fastball that is swung on and fouled away, and the count goes to 0-2. Gory Power says, "Brazil here." Well, he sounds like he's listening in from Brazil, and we're glad to have you. That would be a first. There is a fastball swung on. It is pop foul down the third base line, and the count remains at 0-2. Iced tea is the piece. I like the Southern sweet tea. I really got into it when I was living down in Florida back in 2007. Lots of fun. Pitch on the way is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes to 1-2. And Carlos says, Frankie Montaz is awful. He's got to go. Why they do not have somebody ready in the pen? Well, we could have said the same thing about Dylan Cease, as there was a fastball swung on and lifted foul Both of the pitchers after the fourth inning were spent in my eyes. And, we're looking and saying, I don't know how you can let either one go back out to face the top of the order for the third time. And neither one had any success. And really, Frankie Montas is this point in his career, he is definitely a fourth or a fifth starter at best. As that ball is swung on and fouled away down the left field line, and the count remains at 1-2. I would say Kodai Senga is pretty good as well. So you got Peterson, Manaya, and Senga. The problem is that can they stay healthy? And that is the next question. Here's the pitch. It's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is belted down the right field line. And if this ball stays fair, it's going to be trouble, but it's just going to hook foul. It was bringing fans out of the seats. Gracie Lynn says, didn't you have folks from Brazil when we followed it? I don't think there was anybody specifically from Brazil. Here's the 1-2 offering. It is a fastball swung on. It is popped up over on the third base side. Coming over underneath it is Alvarez, and he's going to make the catch. Mauricio had come in, but Gavin Sheets is going to be gone. He's out for the second out of the inning. So 2 in the books, and it's going to leave it up to the second baseman, Jake Cronenworth. Carlos says Senga has been bad lately. Yeah, over the long haul, you need a healthy Senga to make a run. And truthfully speaking, he is probably the ace. But he has to stay healthy. And here's the pitch. It's a fastball taken for a called strike. Count is quickly 0-1 to Cronenworth. Carlos says the problem is the Padres have the best bullpen in baseball. I don't know about that. There is a fastball swung on it. It's grounded over on the first base side, and Alonso fields it. He throws it to the pitcher covering. It's not going to be in time. Machado is going to come in to score. Brazoban not able to get over there in time. As a nice play by Alonso, as he had to dive to his left. He threw it from his knees, but the pitcher just too slow to get over. Nice piece of running down the line by Cronenworth. I don't know what Brazoban was doing. He was asleep at the switch. And then by the time he caught the ball, he was a good solid 1.5 feet off of the base, and Cronenworth easily beat him down the line. Unbelievable. That's going to be ruled as a single. It's an RBI for Cronenworth. And Machado is going to score the 4th run of the game. And Brazoban, that is absolute terrible baseball. So if you're a Mets fan in here lamenting the pitching staff, how about the doggedness of his play getting over to cover? Mental mistake 100%. So here we go. Here comes the first offering to Bryce Johnson. He swings at a 92-mile-an-hour fastball and fouls that one away. And the count is 0-1. This inning should have been over a couple of batters ago, but it continues to thrive. Cronenworth, the runner at first. Bogarts, the runner at third. No one 0-1 here to Johnson. The Padres have answered back with 3 runs of their own, and they're looking for more. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball swung on, grounded through the 4-hole into right field. That's going to bring home another Padre run as Bogarts will score. And unbelievable, as it is going to be Cronenworth going all the way around to third. A single and an RBI off the bat at Johnson. And we're all tied up at 5. This game has gone absolutely sideways. Well, this game is not over yet, but it is getting a little bit more exciting by each moment. Unreal. So 5-5 is the scoreline. All of those runs will be charged to Frankie Montas. So his ERA is going to fluff up as it is now north of 5. And that brings to the plate the 9th hitter of the inning. This is Elias Diaz. He's 0 for 2 tonight. He's been a bit of a Padre rally killer at the plate, and he swings at a 100-mile-an-hour fastball, and he lifts it into left field. It's going to get down for a base hit, and it's going to be an RBI single off the bat of Diaz. He's going to bring home Cronenworth, and it is now a 6-5 game. Stopping at second is Johnson. And they have batted through the order, and now it's going to bring Fernando Tatis Jr. to the plate. So if you guys are Mets fans, I think alcohol sales in New York State near Queens have gone up significantly. That is unbelievable. Our friend Joe Mansman says send them back to Milwaukee. So Padres fans, get back on the bandwagon. It is now a 6-5 lead here for the Padres. Gracie Lynn says, normally I like good pitching matchups. Tonight, I don't consider this a great pitching matchup as much as it was a matchup and watching the Padres, who are pretty decent, play against the New York Mets. And, of course, the Mets have been playing some pretty good baseball as of late. So runners at first and second. Tatis stepping to the plate. 6-5 San Diego lead. And the first pitch goes all the way to the backstop, and that's going to move everybody up 90 feet. Oh, Brazoban is going from bad to worse in front of our eyes. 1 ball and no strikes to Tatis on the wild pitch from Johnson. Joe Mansman says first place is the Mets. That's absolutely it. Yeah, how they're doing it, I don't know. Certainly not tonight anyway. This game here, you have to wonder. But here's the other intriguing part of this. Brazoban has thrown 14 pitches, and 12 of them have been for strikes. And now trying to bunt his way on is Tatis Jr. And he's going to foul that one away, and the count goes even to 1-1. I think we've seen it all, and we see a little bit more. As John Gibbons has made his way out to the top step. Oh, Gibby. I'm sure he's got a lot to say about this one here tonight. Interesting that Tatis tried to bunt his way on. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-1 on Tatis. They appeal over to the first base umpire, but Mike Machinsky says Tatis didn't go. He probably would have had a riot in San Diego if he would have went up with the right hand. Here comes the 2-1 pitch as the right-hander holds set. Now he delivers. There's a fastball that swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. More action in the bullpen. It is right-hander Rico Garcia up and throwing. We saw Garcia pitch in the last series against the Giants. He was pretty solid. There was a fastball swung on. This is going to be lifted foul into the seats over on the first base side, and the count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes. This has been one of the more entertaining games we've seen in the last little bit. Lots of stuff going on. Monday Night Baseball in San Diego. Here comes the 2-2 offering as the right-hander kicks and delivers. Fastball misses down. Count goes full now to Tatis Jr. It'll be back up, getting another round of iced tea on the in-between here. So our friend Gracie Lynn was asking us what gets us going. I like our iced tea, all kinds, like the Arizona sweet tea, the peace tea. Here's the pitch. That is a fastball that misses down. It's going to be ball 4, and Tatis is going to walk to load the bases, and guess what? It's going to bring up Luis Arias, who's already got a 2-run homer in this inning. That was against Frankie Montas. So the runner at third is Johnson. Runner at first, Diaz. Or second is Diaz. Runner at first is Tatis Jr. And now Arias at the plate. He is 2 for 3 tonight. He's singled and homered. He's drove in a pair. He's also flown to left. The first pitch on the way is a fastball at 98 that misses off the outside corner, and the count is 1-0. All of a sudden, that contact zone has become a lot more tighter for the batter to have to swing at. And there's another fastball that misses down at 98, and the count goes to 2-0. Nowhere to put Arias. Brazoban here on the mound having an absolute meltdown. John Gibbons looking on here. I don't know if he's looking on in disgust or disbelief, or if he's thinking about the steakhouse he might go to after the game. Here's the 2-0. Fastball center cut for a called strike, and the count now goes to 2-1. 2 balls and 1 strike. Oh, Gibby. He thought managing the Toronto Blue Jays was difficult. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Another fastball at the knees taken for a called strike, and the count goes to 2-2. It looks like Arias was a disinterested party in wanting to have to swing the bat here. So Brazoban looking to battle back as he's even the count at 2. San Diego fans are in for a treat here tonight. There's a fastball that comes inside, almost hits Arias, or did it hit him? A nice stop there by the catcher, Alvarez. No, I guess it didn't hit him. It's going to go to 3 balls and 2 strikes. He literally had to skip rope to get out of the way. And you know what? It probably wouldn't have been a bad thing if he would have been plugged. You would have got yourself a run, another RBI. Might have put him out for a month. But Arias has now worked the count full. So the bases are loaded. Runners are going to be on the move here at the time of the pitch. And the pitch is on the way. There goes the runner's fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep left field. Moving back and making the catch in front of the warning track is Nimmo, and that is going to put a merciful end here to this inning for the New York Mets and their fans. The Padres respond in the 5th inning with 5 runs of their own on the benefit of 7 hits. There was no errors, and there was 3 runners left aboard. Your score as we now move to the top of the 6th inning. It is the Padres 6 and the Mets 5. Stay with us, everybody. We're going to go refresh our drink yet again, as this in here is their piece. This game here is unbelievable right now. Can't believe we're watching what we're seeing. We'll be back in just a bit. It is Padres with a 6-5 lead after we return.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I'll take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. We had to get up and get ourselves a refresh beverage, and that would be that iced tea we were calling for in the last half inning. It is going to be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters to come to bat for the Mets in the top of the 6th inning. Alvarez, Mauricio, and the top of the order, Nimmo, to get things going here. We're going to take a peek here to see if it is going to be another pitching change, and it is. It's going to be Adrian Morejon, the 3rd pitcher used tonight by the Padres. So Morejon on in. And the end of the night for David Morgan. And most likely the end of the night for Brazoban on the other side for the New York Mets. And right away, Francisco Alvarez has called time. Alvarez does not have an official at bat tonight. He has walked both of his times to the plate. So 2 walks for him. Joe Mansman says, let's go, Stearns. You need pitching. Well, you better find a way to hit yourself out of some trouble. But yes, you do need pitching. There's a fastball that's taken for a called strike at 99. Count is quickly 0-1 and back to the upset Mets hitters as Francisco Alvarez not happy with the call there. So here comes the 0-1 pitch as the lefty kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is popped up, but it's going to go foul into the seats over on the first base side. The count now is 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. If you're new to the channel, we welcome you tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We call the occasional MLB game like we're doing tonight. Normally it is late night NPB action. And there is a fastball that swung on and missed, and Alvarez is down on strikes. He's gone for the first out of the inning. That's going to bring up the third baseman in Ronnie Mauricio. So if you got nothing to do in the wee hours of the morning, flick on the channel and maybe you can catch us doing one of the late night games. Gracie Lynn says she likes the strike zone or the K zone because everyone in the ballpark universally hates it. I'm sure that is the case. There's a first pitch breaking ball taken for a called strike. And Mauricio, who is a switch hitter batting from the right side here, not sure that he likes that particular call by the home plate umpire. Batting from the right side here against Morejon, and the pitch is a fastball swung on. It is lifted into shallow right field. Coming hard is Tatis. He dives, he slides, and he makes the catch. Oh, what a play by Tatis. That's the second play tonight. Robbing the home run off the bat of Vientos and now making a sliding catch off of Mauricio that is going to retire him for the second out of the inning. That is going to bring up the top of the order in Brandon Nimmo. And I have to update our ticker here because in between the innings, I had ran off to get myself a beverage. So we got that in place now here. 6-5, Padres have the lead here as it is the top of the 6th inning. As Morejon ready to go, kicks and delivers. There is a fastball at 100 miles an hour that catches the inside corner for a called strike. I knew Morejon could throw hard. I didn't know he could throw that hard. 100 miles an hour from the left side. Breathing down your neck, that's pretty good. He missed some time because of his surgery. There's a fastball at 99 under the hands for another called strike, and the count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strike it is. Padres left-handed reliever blowing absolute gas out of the pen. Our friend who was in here earlier was talking about the Padres having one of the best pens. There's a breaking ball that misses outside. What they do have is a really good closer in Suarez. One of the best of the game. All-star this year. Fantastic one. So here comes the 1-2 pitch as the lefty kicks and delivers. Fastball swung on and tap foul behind home plate. The count 1-2 here to Nimmo. So here comes the offering from the lefty. There's a fastball that misses down and away, and the count now goes to 2-2. Joe Mansman says, did you see that Emmanuel Clase is being investigated for gambling? I don't know if he is being investigated or if he has been given a paid leave because of Ortiz. There's a fastball taken for a called third strike. Nimmo stood there and watched that one go by. He's gone for the third out of the inning. Nice pitch there by Morejon as he retires the side 1-2-3. That's how you put up a 0 when you're playing against a team who has just scored some runs against you. So that is going to do it here as it is. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board in the 6th. Your score as we move to the bottom half of the 6th, it is the Padres ahead 6-5. We'll be back in just a couple moments. Appreciate you for being here with us on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be coming to bat for the San Diego Padres in their half of inning number 6. Manny Machado, Jackson Merrill, and Xander Bogaerts, as they are going to be ready to go. We've got ourselves a 6-5 ball game, as this is where we are at here. Just looking at all the rest of the stuff. Our friend Joe says, swing the bat, Brandon Nimmo. Get it off your shoulder, because twice tonight he has gone down looking or getting to see if there is a pitching change, as we would expect that would be the end of the night. And it is going to be a new right-hander for New York, and that would be, it looks like, Rico Garcia coming into the game, as he will take over for Brazoban. So Garcia making his 6th appearance of the year. Saw him in the San Diego series. The first pitch breaking ball is swung on and fouled away. Count is 0-1. He was very good in that series. At least in the game that we saw, he pitched a couple innings in his last outing. He has worked 10 1/3 innings this year. He has struck out 10 batters in that time period. He was with the Yankees for all of one game this year. That had fluffed up his ERA, that's for certain. There's a fastball that Machado couldn't hold up on his swing. It now makes the count at 1-2. Began his career with Colorado, ended up with San Francisco, then went to Baltimore. Then he was with Oakland and Washington, and now he's been with both New York teams this year. So when you start doing the count, he's been with 7 organizations since 2019. And who knows, maybe he is going to find a home here in New York, as that pitch is swung on and fouled away, and the count is 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. It's pretty easy. I want you going down swinging. You can't hit something that you can't swing at. There's a ball that is chopped softly over to third. Mauricio fields it on the run. He's going to have to hurry, and he makes a bad throw, and it's not going to advance the runner. But I think the decision-making on this, let's see, they're going to tag Machado. Let's see if he is all right or not. Looks like he's going to be okay. Ronnie Mauricio had fielded the ball. He fired it. It was a barehanded play. Probably the best decision would have not been to throw it at all. Ball ended up going up the first baseline, closer to the home plate side. Diving for it was Pete Alonso. He couldn't make the play, but instead Machado did not advance. So it's only going to be a single infield hit here for Machado, bringing Jackson Merrill to the plate. And the first pitch fastball is swung on and fouled away. The count is 0-1. So back to Gracie Lidd's question. Yeah, definitely. We want people swinging at the pitch. There's a fastball ticket for a called strike, and now the count goes to 0-2. So Merrill in the hole big time. Merrill is 1 for 2 tonight. Singled and he's walked twice. As Machado slowly establishes his lead over at first base. And now they throw over to first and diving back. The only time that it's acceptable if a batter takes a called third strike, if it's a fastball at the knees inside, I can probably say that. You're generally looking out over the plate to protect. Fastball swing on and fouled away, and the count remains at 0-2. So if you're looking middle and away and you want to be able to protect anything, all you got to do is just flick your wrists at it and slap the ball, whatever you got to do, hit it over the dugout to the opposite field side to keep the bat alive. Just flick your wrists so you can finally get a pitch that you can handle. As the pitch is on the way, there's a breaking ball that is swung at and missed, and Merrill down on strikes. He's gone for the first out of the inning. So Merrill is passing off his information to Xander Bogaerts. The ball there was a 12-6 breaking ball that he couldn't hold up on. So to answer your question, yeah, I want guys or players to go down swinging, but I also want them looking for specific pitches that they can handle. So Garcia keeping Machado honest over there at first base. Machado, I don't like the way he got back to the bag. There's a first pitch breaking ball, slow breaking ball. Take it for a call and strike. Count is quickly 0-1. Bogarts waggling the bat. And the pitch on the way is a fastball swung through and missed. The count now goes to 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes. Again, Bogarts digging in. Batting from the right side here as the right-handed Garcia delivers. There's a breaking ball down. Oh, a good stop there by Alvarez. He was coming up looking like he was wanting to hunt Machado over at first base there. A good pick by him. Machado has to hold his ground. 1 ball and 2 strikes. To Bogarts. Again, Garcia ready to go again, holding it at the belt. Kicks and fires, breaking ball that is waved at and missed by Bogarts, and he goes down on strikes. Couldn't hold up on the breaking ball by Garcia. Garcia having himself a decent outing here yet again, and that's going to leave it up to the DH and Gavin Sheets. So here comes the offering as the pitch is a fastball that misses up and in. Count is quickly 1-0 to Sheets. So Sheets batting from the left side here. Waggling the bat, waiting on the offering here from the right-hander Garcia. Who kicks and fires. There's a breaking ball that misses up and away. Count is now 2-0. Gracie Lynn said that the report of Dusty Baker going to manage Nicaragua in the Classic. Yeah, I heard that earlier today. I didn't know that. Good for Dusty. Although I have to say, I think if I'm the manager, the national team manager in Nicaragua, they did pretty good in the Premier 12 tournament last year. Why they would go outside. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. I mean, listen, Nicaragua's not going to win it. They might give some teams some trouble, but why not let the homegrowns continue their deal? It's not like you're bringing them in to raise the profile nationally. There is a breaking ball that misses upstairs. It's now 3-1 to Sheets. That's kind of like Ernie Witt is the manager of the Canadian national team. Has been doing that for a number of years. It goes to what we call the major tournaments. And I like Ernie. I've always liked Ernie Witt. Michigander. Played his time in Toronto. His best years were with the Blue Jays. There's a fastball that misses inside. It's going to be ball 4. Sheets is going to be aboard with a walk. It's going to advance Machado to second, and it's going to bring Cronenworth to the plate. So again, I don't really know why that is the case. So here we go. Here comes Cronenworth. Cronenworth tonight, 1 for 2. He's got a single and 2 trips. He's also drawn a walk, and he's driven in a run and scored a run. Joe Mansman says too many walks. That is absolutely correct. And by my count tonight, that's 4 walks allowed by Mets pitching as that first pitch fastball swung on and fouled away. The count is 0-1. I'd like to see if Garcia could take something off a pitch here. That would be, and there's, speaking of which, there's an 87-mile-an-hour change piece that was left up, and Cronenworth fouls out one away, and the count is 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Manny Machado having a conversation with the Shortstop Frankie Lindor over there at second base. Cronenworth waiting here on the pitch from Garcia, the 0-2 forthcoming. And the pitch is on the way. It's a fastball at 97 that misses outside. Count goes to 1-2. I think the catcher Alvarez wanted that a little bit higher up in the zone. Change the eye level of the hitter if you could, and then come back with something like a breaking ball. And that's what I would assume they're going to do here. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. And it is a breaking ball. It swung on and missed. Cronenworth is going to get tagged out for the third out of the inning. So Garcia, around a single and a walk, has struck out the side. He does his job here in the sixth inning. It'll be high fives all around for him when he gets to the dugout. No runs in the inning. There was a hit. There was no errors and 2 runners left aboard. We are now through 6 complete innings in San Diego. 2/3 of the game is in the books. Your score is the Padres 6 and the Mets 5. We'll be back here in just a couple moments. Appreciate you guys here in just a few. We'll be right back after this timeout.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball. That's right, everybody. We know baseball, and it is the top of the 7th, just around the corner. We'll be right back after this musical timeout.
Let's go. Yo, I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the top of the 7th inning. The Padres have a 6-5 lead over the Mets, and it is going to be coming to bat. The 2, 3, and 4 hitters for the Mets, that would be Francisco Lindor, Juan Soto, and Pete Alonso. Adrian Morejon is coming back in for another inning of work as he had retired the Mets in order in the 6-1-2-3. So Morejon here to pitch inning number 7. Only 11 pitches for Morejon in the last inning, and 9 of them were for strikes. Very efficient. In fact, only took care of the first 2 batters on 4 pitches. Check that, 5 pitches. Here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball taken for a called strike. And the count is quickly no balls and 1 strike to Lindor. Lindor today is officially 2 for 3. He's got a single and a double to his name, as the pitch on the way is a fastball that swung on and lifted foul over on the first base side. The count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Gracie Lynn says she is heading out, and she has been an exhausting day for her. Well, we appreciate you for being here. She says, what is the next stream? It's a good question. Will not be tomorrow night, as that fastball misses outside. The count goes to 1-2. There is a strong possibility it could be on Wednesday evening. We were kicking that around a little bit, but it won't be these 2 teams. If we did it most likely would be the Mariners and the Athletics, as there's a fastball taken for a called third strike. Lindor down on strikes. He's gone for the first out of the inning looking, and that'll bring up the right fielder in Juan Soto. There is, however, a possibility that we could do the Rangers and the Angels, but that is a lower possibility. I think we would prefer, on a personal note, to do the Mariners and Athletics. Brian Wu against Springs. I like to watch the Mariners play. I do enjoy watching them from time to time. So this brings up Soto to the plate, and the first pitch from Morejon is a 90-mile-an-hour breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. I'll shoot you a Discord message, Gracie Lynn, if that is the case. We'll catch you in the next one, and we thank you, as always, for your support. Have a great night, and we will catch you soon. So there's a breaking ball that is waved at and missed. The count now goes to 0-2 on Soto. So now it looks like it's just Joe Mansman holding down the chat and anybody else who wants to jump in. So no balls and 2 strikes. A lefty ready to deliver again. There's a fastball that just misses upstairs. Count goes to 1-2. Did he get him? Yeah, he called him out on strike. Soto doesn't like the call. He's shaking his head, and he's given Jimenez another what for. John Gibbons is coming out to make sure his player goes back, doesn't get tossed out. I thought it was ball 4. Pitch was up in the zone. It was a pitch. Even Morahone didn't think it was a strike, and the next thing you know, he calls it out, and Soto's down on strikes. Second out of the inning, second called. Looking, Morahone's snickering all the way to the bank right now. That's 4 strikeouts for the lefty. And he's going to hand the ball over to Mike Schilt, and he's going to take a walk off the mound as he pats his manager on the chest with a big smile in his face. Coming in is Estrada. Coming up is Alonso. We'll be back in just a couple of moments with all the action. Another pitching change here in San Diego. We'll be right back after this time out.
Thank you, Freddie. Appreciate your support and everybody out there. Steve again here, obviously, with the Milwaukee Brewers. Of course, we have Bernie Brewer on my favorite beverage of choice right there, along with a card of Bernie. Yay! Now, we got some special guests here. I'm not just talking about our Hall of Fame lineup. I must be in the front row. Hey, come on there, Robin. I got 3,000 hits. What do you have? Well, I was the all-time saves leader, and I got 1.5 feet on you. Okay, Raleigh, settle down, buddy. Now, none of this could be possible without Harvey's Wallbangers. There's Harvey. And who could forget the Fonz? Hey.
Welcome back, everybody. It is a pitching change as the San Diego Padres are going to their bullpen yet again. It is going to be Jeremiah Estrada coming on in relief. Estrada, the 26-year-old right-hander, making his 51st appearance of the year. He's got 4 wins and 4 losses. He has 3 saves to his name in 47 and a third innings pitched. Estrada has been pretty good. He's only allowed 35 hits. He has walked 16, struck out 65. And on top of that, he has 21 holds and 3 saves, pitching to a 2.66 ERA. So Estrada to face the polar bear. And Pete Alonso on the first pitch is a breaking ball swung on. It is lifted into shallow center field. Backing up underneath it is Cronenworth. And with 1 pitch, Alonso is retired to end the inning here on a pop-up to the second baseman. Cronenworth, he's gone for out number 3, and that will do it here. 1 pitch from Estrada, and that takes care of business. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. We are now moving to the bottom of the 7th inning. It is a 6-5 lead for the Padres. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back in just a couple moments. We appreciate you for being here on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Right back after this timeout.
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just 1 roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole. Yeah.
Welcome back, everybody. It is slated to be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters to come to bat for the Padres here in their half of, or their top of the 7th inning, or bottom half of the 7th inning, I should add. So they are the home team here. We're just looking at our stuff here. It hasn't flipped over yet. Just waiting to see if there is confirmation of a pitching change or if Garcia is going to come on back out for yet another inning of work. 6-12-0 for the Padres, 5-5-0 for the Mets is the line score in this one. All of the craziness happened in the 5th inning. It is still going to be Garcia on the hill, as he will be facing Johnson, Diaz, and the top of the order. And the first pitch from Garcia is bunted down the first baseline. They're going to have to hurry. And it is a play by Alonso. He fields it. The pitcher, Garcia, coming over to cover, collides with the polar bear. That's not a winning situation or combination. And it looks like he is going to get the out. Nice play there, and a pretty decent athletic play by Garcia to get out of the way by the polar bear, as he almost got himself run over there. He couldn't throw on the brakes in time. It was a nice tag play by Alonso. So ground out to 3 to get Johnson for the first out of the inning, and that'll bring up the catcher in Elias Diaz. They are going to come out and have a peek at Garcia, as the trainers are out. He says he's all right. I hope he is. If not, maybe he goes on the injured list and gets himself a few extra paydays. He's pitched pretty well for the Mets since he has been there. He wants to pitch. He wants to play. So he is going to continue on. John Gibbons is going to slowly walk off the mound and watch him have a couple of pitches. But I have a feeling he's going to stay in the ball game here. It was the right idea by Johnson to try to drop the bunt down, catch the polar bear sleeping over there on the first base side. But he was not in hibernation. He had come off there to make the play, and he was able to make the tag. But, we saw Alonso last, it was on Saturday night, I think it was against the Giants, Friday night. And he made some really athletic plays. I don't know if he gets maligned for his defensive play, but I got to tell you, he made some great picks. He made some good decisions. For a big fella, made some really athletic plays. And right here was another one on display here tonight for the Mets. Joe Mansman says time to get a stretch in here, as we are now in the bottom half of that 7th inning. And the right-hander Garcia ready to deliver. As he kicks and fires, there is a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Diaz tonight 1 for 3, single in 3 trips. Jason Adam up and throwing for the Padres. And their bullpen, and one would think Suarez to finish out the 9th. Fastball swung on and lifted foul. Count is now 0-2 to Diaz. Well, I have to say I've been impressed with the polar bear. He has been very, very fun to watch in his defensive play. That doesn't mean that maybe over the long haul he's not very good, but certainly the 2 games I've seen, pretty solid. Breaking ball swung on and fouled away into the catcher Alvarez, and the count remains at 0-2 to Diaz. So no balls and 2 strikes. Right-hander Garcia kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on. It's lifted foul. It's going to reach the seats over on the first base side, and the battle with Diaz is going to continue. No balls and 2 strikes. Waiting on deck is the top of the order in Fernando Tatis Jr. So again, Garcia delivers. There's a changeup that misses way upstairs. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Diaz. Mets trailed the Padres by 1 here, 6-5 in the bottom half of the 7th inning. They are starting to run out of outs, are the Mets, as the 1-2 on the way is a 95-mile-an-hour fastball that misses upstairs, and the count goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. The right-hander ready to go again. And he kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on, grounded softly to short. Lindor fields it. He fires across the infield, and that is going to nail the slow-running catcher of the Padres, Diaz, on the ground out 6-3. He's gone for the second out of the inning. It'll bring up the top of the order in Fernando Tatis Jr. Well, for Tatis Jr., he is 1 for 3 tonight. He's got a double and 3 trips, and he's walked. But his defensive play has been pretty good. He robbed Mark Vientos of a home run back in the 4th inning. And on top of it, he made a nice sliding catch. A couple innings later, there's a breaking ball that misses upstairs, and the count is quickly 1-0 to Tatis Jr. Made a nice sliding catch to rob Ronnie Mauricio of a base knock. And that would have been in the 6th inning. Here's the 1-0. Breaking ball catches the inside corner for a called strike. The count's 1-1. That's the same location. The umpire has been calling the pitches on the Mets that they haven't liked. So now the Padres are getting a little bit of that cold dish served up to them. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Fastball at 96. He blows it right by Tatis. Count goes to 1-2. Joe Mansman, as the 1-2 pitch is on the way, there's a breaking ball missing inside. Count is 2-2. I got to tell you, Joe, I think that the Mets here had their chances, and I think they may have squandered them here tonight. They've had the opportunities, certainly, to put up a 0 after getting that grand slam. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball, take it for a called 3rd strike. Oh, a great pitch there by Garcia. He struck out the side in the last inning, and he gets Tatis Jr. here in this one. 2 good innings there by Rico Garcia. Looking like a solid pickup for the Mets out of nowhere. He retires the Padres in order 1-2-3 here in the 7th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. Your score as we move to the top of the 8th inning. It is a 6-5 lead for the Padres. We'll be right back after this. Hang tight, everybody. It is our good friend Steve Rademacher having a beer.
Oh, hello. Oh, hey. Yep. I'm just sitting here listening to Freddie call another game here on YouTube. Oh, yeah, going really good. He's calling a great game. Really exciting. Lots of stuff going on. You're lucky it's commercial break right now. I got a second. Oh, yeah, of course I'm having a cold one. Oh, yeah, got plenty of videos coming up this week. You should stop in, check them out, leave a like, tell other people. But, Freddie's coming back. I got to go catch the game. I will check in with you later. You have a good night, buddy. Bye.
Appreciate you there. It is going to be coming to bat here for the Mets. It'll be Jeff McNeil, Mark Vientos, and Brett Beatty. So we have some of this here. I'm just taking a look at a couple of things. Not really sure what is happening here, but we are just checking in on some of these other pieces. We're looking at the out-of-town scoreboard. We'll get you caught up to that here in just a bit, as this game is still going on, as, of course, the game between the Pirates and the Giants still happening as well. Mariners and Athletics. This is the other game underway, and both of those games are in the 9th inning. Top of the 8th inning, McNeil, Vientos, and Batty to come to bat here. As it is going to be a pitching change, as it's going to be Jason Adam coming in, making his 51st appearance this year. So Jason Adam in, as he will be the 5th pitcher used. Interesting, Estrada got heated up, only threw 1 pitch to get the out to end the inning. And his night was done because all he had to do was get the polar bear. Now it is Adams' turn, and he will be followed up more than likely by Suarez to try to close the deal. So shortening up the game. 6 outs to get here for the Padres as Adam working from the stretch, kicks and delivers. First pitch breaking ball is swung on and fouled away, and the count is quickly 0-1 to McNeil. So no balls and 1 strike. Top of the 8th inning, 6-5 ball game on our hands. As the right-hander delivers again, there's a fastball that swung on. It's lifted into right field. Tatis underneath it, although looked like he lost it in the lights there for a moment, and he's able to regain that. He's going to make the catch. McNeil is going to be retired. The Mets are now running out of outs. Gone here in the 8th inning. Yeah, very, very strange. Looked like that Tatis a couple times might have lost the ball in the lights. Talking about gambling in the sports, I want to start taking a look at your umpires again. Off season, it was Pat Hoberg got, I believe, a 1-year suspension. As the pitch is on the way, it is a fastball that misses down. He could apply for reinstatement, one of the umpires. I don't know, that went away pretty quietly. It was deflected for sure. Away being the Hoberg incident. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Breaking ball comes inside, almost hits Vientos. Count goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Right-hander again delivers. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. The count now goes to 2-1 to Vientos. Vientos is spun on base pass tonight. He was hit by a pitch. He hit a grand slam and he singled. Also flown out to left. He's got driven in 4 of the 5 Mets runs. And there's a breaking ball that he waves at and misses, and the count goes even at 2s. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Action in the pen. Gregory Soto, the recently acquired left-hander from the Baltimore organization, is up and throwing. Looks like Ryan Stanek was the other one. I didn't quite get a good look. There's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 2s to Vientos. Seemingly following the Mets around, but no Mets tomorrow night. And the pitch on the way. Breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted into left field. Coming over underneath it with room to make the catch is the left fielder, Johnson, and he's going to retire Vientos for the second out of the inning. He's going to leave it all up to Brett Beatty. Beatty coming to bat here. 0 for 2 tonight. He has a sacrifice fly and an RBI, a strikeout, and he's flown to center. So batting from the left side, career against Jason Adam. He's 1 for 2 with a home run and an RBI. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball missing down and away, and the count is 1-2. Mets running out of outs here, only 4 outs to play with. As we said, we expect Suarez for the 9th, the former NPB pitcher, Hanchin Tiger, amongst others. As there's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count now goes to 2-0. Amazing. You can go from pitching in the NPB to closing out games in the major leagues. Pitch on the way. Breaking ball swung on, and it's cued foul over on the third base side. Count goes to 2-1 on Beatty. And it looks like he's going to have to get himself a new piece of lumber. He got it at the end of the bat. His bat was cupped out. Well, it's got a little bit more cupped out in it, as he had hit it right off the end piece. Bat boy gives him a new bat. Waiting on deck is the catcher, Francisco Alvarez. Looking ahead to the bottom of the 8th inning for the Padres. Padres will have the 2, 3, and 4 hitters coming to bat, Arias, Machado, and Merrill. All the scoring has stopped since the 5th inning. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball inside. They're going to appeal to see if he swung. And yeah, he did. He got hit by the pitch, hit him in the foot. But Beatty had went around on it and the third base umpire went up with the right hand. Yes, he did swing. Oh, yeah, that's pretty harsh. Got hit in the back foot. There's insult to injury. Couldn't hold up his swing. Gets plugged in the back foot. So it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the 2-2 on the way. Pitch coming. Breaking ball. Taken for a called third strike. It's in the same spot as everybody else has been complaining about. So, Beatty, take your lumps, walk back to the dugout. Innings over. You're gone for out number 3. They go in order again, and if you're keeping track of us, that is now 10 Mets hitters in a row have been retired by the Padres pitchers. It is going to be coming to bat. 2, 3, and 4 hitters for San Diego are Arias, Machado, and Merrill. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left the board here in the top of the 8th. Your score as we move to the bottom half. It is 6-5 for the Padres. We'll be back in just a few. It is the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel when we return after this timeout. Welcome back, everybody. It is 6-5 for the Padres as we move ourselves to the bottom half of inning number 8. We'll be back in just a couple moments. Appreciate you guys for listening in on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving ourselves to the bottom half of inning number 8, and it is going to be a pitching change for the Mets. It'll be the right-hander Ryan Stanek coming into the ball game. So Stanek on in relief, making his 42nd appearance of the year, 2-5 record. Rico Garcia was excellent tonight in his 2 innings of relief. But now it is going to be Stanek here to face the 2, 3, and 4 hitters in the batting order. So the right-hander holds to the set. Here comes the pitch. First pitch at 97 at the knees for a called strike. The count is 0-1 to Arias. Arias tonight is 2 for 4. He's got a single and a home run, driven in a couple of runs. He's also flown to left twice. As the pitch is a breaking ball that misses down and in, and the count goes even to 1-1. Joe says Stanek in the game. Well, it's not like you got a lead, as you guys are playing from behind right now, so he's got to try to keep you close. And there's a fastball at 98 that's taken for a called strike. The count now goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Robert Suarez up and throwing in the Padre bullpen, and the right-hander is kind of like the sun. It comes up in the morning in the east and sets in the west. He's pretty consistent. As there's a ball that misses down, and the count goes to 2-2 on Arias. He'll have 3 outs to get in the 9th inning, and he'll have to do it facing Alvarez, Mauricio, and Nimmo. So here comes the offering from the right-hander Stanek, who delivers. Fastball misses down, and the count now goes full to 3-2. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Manny Machado waiting on deck, and Jackson Merrill to follow. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on line softly to the third baseman, Mauricio. As he makes the catch, Arias is gone for the first out of the inning. That is going to bring up Manny Machado to the plate. Well, for Manny Machado, he is officially 2 for 3 tonight. He's got 2 singles. He's been hit by a pitch, and he's grounded into a double play. He's also scored a pair of runs and stolen a base. And the first pitch is a breaking ball that misses upstairs for ball, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. This game is done. We'll give you a full roundup around Major League Baseball. AI Drizzy says, "Come on, Mets." There's a fastball that is swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 1-1. Yeah, the Mets certainly had their opportunity. They needed their pitcher to come out and put up a big fat 0, and they couldn't do it. There's a fastball taken at the knees for a called strike, and the count now goes to 1-2 on Machado. A 4-run top of the 5th by the Mets, capped by a grand slam by Mark Vientos. At the bottom of the 5th, the Padres respond with 5 of their own. There was a breaking ball waved at and missed, and Machado is down on strikes for the second out of the inning. So 2 gone. It's going to leave it all up to Jackson Merrill. So Alvarez applying the tag to Machado. Machado didn't like it. He took a swipe at him. At least the glove where he applied the tag. So here comes the pitch. First pitch, fastball, swung on and missed. The count is quickly 0-1 to Merrill. Merrill 1 for 3 tonight. He's got a single and a walk. He's also popped the first and struck out. Pitch is a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep left field. There's room. It's playable for the left fielder, Nimmo. He's there to make the catch, and he is going to retire Merrill for the 3rd out of the inning. Well, this is going to do it. It all comes down to the top of the 9th, and Suarez is coming in. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board here for the Padres in their half of the 8th. The top of the 9th is just around the corner. Suarez is coming in, and we'll take a little timeout. We'll be back in just a couple moments with all the action right after this timeout. You are listening to live NPB commentary with Last Raps Baseball. Be sure to check out our podcast, The Japan Baseball Report, either on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to join our Facebook group as well. It is NPB Japan Baseball Report. Stay up to date with all the other followers who are a fan of the Japanese game. That's right. We know we're not doing the NPB right now, although Suarez is in the game, and he reminds me of his time with the Tigers. But we are doing Major League Baseball. But if you want to join our channel, and if you want to listen to us late night, click on our Facebook page and join the group. We'd love to have you there. We'll be right back in just a couple moments after this timeout continues.
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole. Yeah.
Welcome back, everybody. Robert Suarez is completing his tune-up tosses, and we are ready to resume the action in just a moment. 46th appearance for the right-hander. He's got a 2-4 record. He has 30 saves to his name. He's got a 3.38 ERA and 42 2/3 innings of work. He has struck out 45 and walked 12. The right-hander who made an all-star appearance this year, coming in to try to close the deal against the Mets here in their half of the 9th. Down to their final 3 outs is New York. Suarez is scheduled to face Alvarez, Mauricio, and Nimmo. Right-hander leans in, getting the sign, and the first pitch coming here to Alvarez is a fastball swung on and fouled straight back, and the count is quickly 0-1. Alvarez struck out in his last at-bat, but he has a couple of walks to his name, so officially 0-1 tonight. Alvarez has taken an offensive timeout. He was right on that pitch, by the way. He fouled that one straight back. He may want that pitch again. And you often say that you get one pitch in at bat, and if you miss it, you may not get another one. And that is where it sits here with Alvarez. Here's the pitch. There's a fastball that misses down and away, and the count goes even at 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike. The right-hander kicks and fires. There's a fastball at 99. He blows it right by Alvarez. Good old-fashioned hardball. And I don't know if Suarez has got a change piece to follow it up with, but if he could pull the string here, he might have Alvarez way out in front. We'll see what he's got in his arsenal. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. And he delivers. It's a 100-mile-an-hour heater that swung on and fouled away. Count remains at 1-2. No change piece that time. Just good old-fashioned hardball. So here comes the 1-2 offering as the right-hander again works set. And he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball at 100 that just misses off the outside corner, and the count goes to 2-2. I remember seeing Suarez pitch in the NPB, but I don't remember him sitting at 100. But he has pitched very well the last couple of years in San Diego. There's one at 99 that misses off the outside corner. The count now goes full to Alvarez. Certainly don't want to walk the leadoff batter here. Ronnie Mauricio on deck, and in the top of the order in Brandon Nimmo. Definitely want to keep all of these runners off the base paths. There's a fastball swung on it. It's popped up behind home plate. Moving back underneath it is Diaz. He's going to have room, and he makes the catch. Not an easy piece of work, but one gone here in the inning, and that is going to bring up the third baseman, Ronnie Mauricio. Once again, once this game is complete, I'll give you a complete rundown of all these scores around Major League Baseball. This is the only game that is still going on. So hopefully you guys can stay in here with us for that. First pitch from Suarez on the way. It is a changeup that misses down and away. The count is 1-0 to Mauricio. Mauricio's been turned around a couple of times tonight. Now he's batting from the left side against the right-handed throwing Suarez. Pitch on the way. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Mauricio is 0 for 3 tonight. Struck out, popped to third, and flown out to right. There's a fastball at 99 that's blown right by the hitter, and the count now goes to 2-1. 2 balls and 1 strike. As the 2-1 is on the way, there's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted into deep right field. This ball is going to be trouble, and this ball is going to be gone. A home run into right center field by Ronnie Mauricio. And the Mets have tied the ball game up at 6 apiece here. That ball got out just as fast as it came in. Mauricio doing his strut around the bases. Going to be his 6th homer of the year. And we are all locked up at 6s here. In the top of the 9th inning, it'll bring the top of the order up in Brandon Nimmo. So Mets fans just pumped a fist. It was a 2-1 pitch, and Mauricio was all over it. And I got to tell you, that broke a string of 11 consecutive batters retired. And there is a fastball swung on it. It's lifted into straightaway center field. Underneath it is Merrill. And Nimmo gave it a ride, but he's gone for the second out of the inning. He's going to leave it all up to the shortstop in Francisco Lindor. Joe Mansman says that Mauricio is the future of this team. There was talk about cleaning up something in the middle infield. You've got too many pieces right now with a possibility of Beatty or playing there. You got Lindor, you got Acuna, and you got Mauricio, but I'm not trading Mauricio at all. If I were in the Mets driver's seat, there's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count's 0-1 to Lindor. Lindor tonight officially is 2 for 4. He has struck out twice. He's singled and doubled. As the pitch on the way is a 100-mile-an-hour heater that just misses for a ball, and the count's 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. And now we can look ahead to the bottom half of inning number 9, and it's slated to be Bogart, Sheets, and Cronenworth come to bat for the Padres, as there is a changeup taken for a called strike. Count is now 1-2. So not only are we getting extra baseball, it's the only game in town now. There is no more games going on across the Major League at the moment. This is it here. Here's the pitch. Fastball at 100. It blows it right by Lindor. He's gone for out number 3, and that is going to do it. 1 run in the inning. It was a big blast by Mauricio. 1 hit, no errors, nobody left the board. We're now moving to the bottom of the 9th inning. Bogart, Sheets, and Cronenworth to come to bat. Do they have some Last Raps magic? We're going to find out when we return in just a couple moments. It is a 6-6 ball game when we return right after this. We got ourselves a 6-6 game as we go to the bottom of the 9th inning. We'll be right back in just a couple moments after this musical timeout. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the bottom of the 9th inning, and coming to bat for the Padres will be Bogart, Sheets, and Cronenworth, as it is a 6-6 ball game. The stretch of, we had at the time 11 batters, 11 Mets in a row had gone down before that home run by Mauricio had evened the score at 6. So now we are moving to the bottom of the 9th inning. And we are just taking a quick little peek here to see if the Mets are indeed going to the bullpen again. Ryan Stanek had worked the 8th inning. And it is going to be a left-hander. It's going to be the newly acquired Gregory Soto. I'm familiar with Soto as, of course, for some of you who are listening to the channel, I am a neutral in this game. Soto is formerly of the Orioles and the Phillies, but I've got a chance to see him pitch a lot with the Detroit Tigers. So Soto is coming on in relief here. He at times has been very, very good. And at other times, he has been a lot to be desired, as being able to throw strikes, sometimes as a challenge for the left-hander. The first pitch is an 85-mile-an-hour fastball that misses down and in, and the count is 1-0 to Bogarts. Bogarts tonight is officially 2 for 4. He's got a single and a double. He's also driven in a run and scored a run. And he takes a 94-mile-an-hour fastball for a called strike. And the count is now 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Looks like Iglesias has moved into the on-deck circle to hit for Gavin Sheets. There's a fastball that swung on. It's going to be lined over the head of the second baseman into center field. Bogarts is aboard with a single. And I wonder if the Padres will play small ball here with Iglesias. Iglesias coming up to bat. See if you can move him over into scoring position. So a leadoff single off the bat here of Bogarts puts him aboard. And now Iglesias into bat for Gavin Sheets. Joe Mansman says former Matt. Yeah, he's been a former lot of things. began his career in the Boston organization. Here's the pitch. He squares the bunt. It's not great. It's back to the pitcher, Soto, and he throws it, and it takes Lindor off the bag at second base. That ball was destined for left center field. So it is going to be an error to the pitcher. Oh, Mets fans can't believe it. It's gone from bad to worse at times. This is just absolute torture. If you're having to watch this, it's definitely an error on the pitcher. Might be a sacrifice possibly as well. I'll have to see how they officially score it. Sometimes they do that. It is a sacrifice bunt. I haven't seen the error charged yet. But safe at first is Iglesias. We'll see if they make an adjustment there. There is a conference on the mound, as it is going to bring Jake Cronenworth to the plate. And I don't know about you guys, but I'd be bunting again. Keep it going. And on top of it, when Bryce Johnson comes to the plate, I'd do it again. But that's me. So Cronenworth coming to bat here. In this ball game tonight, Cronenworth is officially 1 for 3. He has singled and 3 trips. He has also walked. So the Padres here looking to do a little bit of damage. Well, I'm curious to see if Cronenworth will be called upon to bunt. So Soto holds set. He squares the bunt, and he drops it down. And this one's a good one, although it's to the third base side. Soto fields it. He underhand flips. I don't know if I would have bunted it in that direction. I would have had to make the pitcher come off the mound on the first base side. I know what you're doing. I know exactly why you would do that. You're trying to draw the third baseman in off the bag to make him make a play. But what an athletic play by Soto and a good read there by Mauricio to be able to get back to the base. That's going to be a fielder's choice. It's going to erase Bogarts 1-5 on the putout for the first out. Advancing to second is Iglesias. Cronenworth can't quite get the job done. And that is going to bring Bryce Johnson to the plate. So Johnson coming to bat. And I think if I'm the Padres, I'm bunting here too. Here's the pitch. No sign of a bunt. Breaking ball misses down and in, and the count is 1-0. Yeah, you definitely need a K now if you are the Mets. 1 ball and no strikes to Johnson. Soto checks the runner Iglesias. He's hopping around all over at second base. Fastball taken on the inside corner for a called strike. The count is 1-1. That was a good pitch by Soto, coming under the hands of the right-handed hitting Johnson. As I said, Soto at times, he's been an all-star in his career. He could be very, very good. And he can also go into times where he's erratic. And there's a breaking ball waved out and missed. The count now goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. If you just joined us, it is a 6-6 ball game in the bottom of the 9th. Mets tied it up on a home run by Mauricio on the top of the 9th inning. Padres have 2 on and 1 out. Here's the pitch to Johnson. Breaking ball misses down and away, and the count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Padres looking to push another run across to win the game, and there's a fastball swung on and fouled away. Count remains at 2-2 to Johnson. Well, Cronenworth couldn't quite get the job done, but a great play there by Soto coming off the mound to make that play. Also good defense by the Mets. That's basically a one-step read for Mauricio. He's got to make the decision if the pitcher can get there or not. He definitely got there to make the play. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball, take it for a called third strike. Johnson doesn't like it. He stood there like the house by the side of the road. He watched it go by for out number 2. And that is going to leave it all up to the catcher, Elias Diaz. We got to look at the replay. I'm not so sure that I agree with Johnson. Johnson didn't think it was a strike, but the umpire tonight has not been very good, Jimenez. But I think he got that one right. Well, that brings us to Elias Diaz. Diaz coming to the plate. He has had 5 career walk-offs, and he's looking for his 6th here. And the first pitch coming from Soto is a fastball that misses up and away for ball 1. On deck is Fernando Tatis Jr. Joe Mansman wants to know what's with all the anti-Mets fans in here tonight. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep right field. It's slicing down toward the line, and it's just going to slice foul. Giving chase was Soto, but he wasn't able to catch up with it. And that's going to run the count now to a ball and a strike to Diaz. That's what you get when you're on the coast late night there, Joe. It's not exactly the time for the Mets. It is time for the Padres and the West Coasters. But we're glad you're here holding it down for the team from Queens. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Soto kicks and delivers. There is a fastball swung on and missed. The count now goes to 1-2 on Diaz. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Soto goes to the rosin bag, loads it up. And now digging in here is the catcher Diaz. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Soto kicks and fires. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted foul down the right field line. Count remains at 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it remains. If you've just joined us, we are in the bottom of the 9th inning. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes to Diaz. 2 gone here. Runner at second is Iglesias. Runner at first is Cronenworth. Soto holds set. Here comes the pitch. Fastball swung on, lined into left field. It's going to get down for a base hit. It is fielded by Nimmo. Here comes the throw to the plate. It's going to be offline, not in time, and it's going to be an RBI single off the bat of Elias Diaz as he is going to drive home Iglesias, and that is going to do it here for the Padres here tonight as they're going to walk it off with a 7-6 victory in the bottom of the 9th at Petco. 1 run in the inning on the benefit of 2 hits. There was no errors, and there were 2 runners left aboard. Your final score, 7-6 for the San Diego Padres over the Mets. Stay with us, everybody. We'll come back in just a couple moments and wrap this baby up for you right after this timeout.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. Well, that was a wild and wacky one here tonight as your final score is the San Diego Padres 7 and the New York Mets 6. We'll give you the recap of this one and the rundown as this one follows up here tonight. Well, first of all, the scoring got going in the second inning. The New York Mets opened the scoring with 1 out. It was a walk to Jeff McNeil. And then Mark Vientos singled, that put runners on the corners, and up stepped Brett Beatty, and he had a sacrifice fly that brought home McNeil with the first run of the ballgame. 1-0 Mets. In the bottom half of the third inning, the Padres got it back with 2 outs. Manny Machado was hit by a pitch after Jackson Merrill walked. Xander Bogaerts singled home Machado, and that evened the game at 1 apiece. Well, then things went crazy in the 5th inning. In the top of the 5th inning, Brandon Nimmo led off the inning with a single. Frankie Lindor singled. And Juan Soto bounced into a fielder's choice, erasing Lindor at second. After a Pete Alonso strikeout, Jeff McNeil was intentionally walked, and up stepped Mark Vientos, who deposited a grand slam into the right field seats to give the Mets a 5-1 lead. And you thought, well, that would be where the Mets would be able to seal the deal on this one, bring in their bullpen, which has been fairly decent. Nope, bottom of the fifth inning, they still got to the starter Frankie Montez. A leadoff double by Tatis, a home run by Arias cut the lead to 5-3. Machado singled. After Jackson Merrill popped out to first, up stepped Xander Bogaerts. He had a bizarre double, and then it was a pop-out by Gavin Sheets, but an RBI single off the bat at Cronenworth, another RBI single off the bat at Johnson, and that made the scoreline at that point in time 6-5 for the Padres. And that's where it stood. The Mets, the Padres pitching from the bottom of the fifth were able to retire 11 Mets in a row until Ronnie Mauricio stepped up and deposited his sixth homer of the year. And that gave in the ninth inning, and that made it a tie ball game at 6-6. While the Padres, and their bottom half of inning number 9, it was a leadoff single by Bogaerts. And then Iglesias dropped a sacrifice bunt, but the throw from the pitcher, Soto, took the shortstop Lindor offline, and he wasn't able to make the play. That put runners at first and second. Then up stepped Jake Cronenworth, and he tried to bunt, but a nice play by Soto to come off the mound, make the play, and throw it Bogaerts over at third. Made the first run of the inning, or first out of the inning. Bryce Johnson then struck out, and then up stepped Elias Diaz with a 1-2 count. He had an RBI single to bring home Iglesias to give the Padres a 7-6 lead, and that was your final score. So in this ball game here tonight, the stat line for the San Diego Padres, they had 7 runs on 14 hits. There was no errors. Mets had 6 runs, 6 hits, and 1 error. That is your stat line in this one. We're going to take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard, as all games are now final across Major League Baseball. Tigers knocked off the Diamondbacks today 5-1. 5-10-0 for the Tigers, 1-7-1 for the D-backs. Troy Melton gets his first career win, goes to 1-1. Eduardo Rodriguez drops to 3-7. The Baltimore Orioles knocked off the Toronto Blue Jays 11-4. Orioles 11-16-0. Blue Jays 4-11-1. Martin gets the win. Bassett takes the loss in that one. Rockies knocked off the Guardians today, but the big news in Cleveland was Emmanuel Clase put on a suspended list as they're continuing their investigation for gambling in the Cleveland clubhouse. Rockies 8 runs, 10 hits, no errors. Guardians 6-11-0. Kinley the win. Smith takes the loss. Halverson got the save, his 11th of the year for the Rocks. Rays beat the Yankees 4-2, 4-11-0 for the Rays, 2-6-0 for the Yanks. Rasmussen gets the win, he's 8-5. Schlitter takes the loss, he's 1-1. Fairbanks, his 18th save of the year. Dodgers knocked off the Reds in Cincinnati tonight, 5-2, 5-9-0 for the Reds, 5-9-0 for the Dodgers, 2-6-1 for the Reds. Yamamoto the win, he's 9-7. Burns takes the loss, he's 0-3. Dreyer gets his first save of the season. In Minnesota, the Twins knock off the Red Sox 5-4. Johan Duran gets the win. He is 6-4 on the year. Hicks takes the loss. He goes to 1-7. In this one here, Twins 5-8-1. They walked it off in the bottom of the ninth inning. 4-10-0 for the Red Sox as they take the loss in that one. Braves knock off the Royals in Kansas City tonight, 10-7, 10-9-0 for the Braves, 7-12-0 for the Royals. Spencer Strider gets his 5th win of the year against 8 losses. Rich Hill takes the loss. He drops to 0-2. Raciel Iglesias gets his 12th save of the year. White Sox knock off the Phillies tonight, 6-2, 6-10-0 for the Chi Sox. Phillies 2-6-1. Martin gets the win. He's 3-8. Sanchez the loss. He's 9-3. More games coming. Brewers knock off the Cubs tonight, 8-4. The Brewers improved to 63-43 on the season. 8-10-1 for the Brewers, 4-6-0 for the Cubs. Mears the win, he's 2-3. Boyd the loss is 11-4. McGill his 24th save. Cardinals knock off the Marlins today 7-1, 7-8-0 for the Cards, 1-4-3 for the Marlins. Palante the win, he's 6-7. Cabrera takes the loss, he's 4-5. Nationals beat the Astros 2-1, 2-4-0 for the Nats, 1-4-0 for the Stros. Pilkington the win, he's 2-0. King takes the loss for the Astros, he is 3-2. Finnegan his 20th save. In Los Angeles, the Angels beat the Rangers 6-4, 6-9-1 for the Angels, 4-6-0 for the Rangers. Brogdon the win, he's 2-1. DeGrom takes the loss, he's 10-3. Kenley Jansen, it seems to be the ageless wonder, gets his 19th save. Pirates go into San Francisco and put another one on the Giants, 6-9-0 for the Pirates, 5-11-0 for the Giants. Giants are fading fast. They're now a game above 500. Ramirez gets the win. Seymour takes the loss. Bednar gets his 17th save of the year. And the other final score on the out-of-town scoreboard, Mariners beat the Athletics 3-1. Mariners 3-9-0. Athletics 1-7-1. Castillo the win, he goes to 8-6. Sears takes the loss, he's 7-9. Munoz gets the save, his 24th of the campaign. Once again, everybody, we appreciate all of you who have come on in, and we also appreciate you guys for staying here with us tonight. Have a great night, everybody. Padres 7-6 winners over the Mets. Look to see you again in a couple of days. Check out our schedule when we post it. We'll let you know who we are calling then. More than likely, it will be Athletics and Mariners. Have a great night, everybody. We'll see you again soon.